Magandang hapon, Crossfire Philippines! Malapit na ang playoffs kaya lalong hahapit ang kompetisyon sa Day 12 ng Impact Summer 2025. Mga pala Sir Mon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Kami ang inyong casters para sa unang serye pero syempre, of course, kamusta ka naman, Sneaky?
Yeah, chilling. Yesterday was very, very fast, pare. Unfortunately left me wanting for more CF action this Thursday. And I feel like yung mga games naman natin today is gonna definitely be slightly closer, no?
Oh, totoo talaga pare. Kasi in a bit, we're gonna be showing off kung ano yung magiging format natin for the whole of Impact. No? Very important considering that this is a tournament where the Tier 2 will literally breach into the highest level of competition talaga. No? So nagsama-sama sa isang group stage. Sa buong weeks na to, pinakita yung lakas ng bawat isa talaga papunta sa ating playoffs na konting tulog na lang, Sneaky. Papunta na tayo talaga doon no?
Yeah, I mean, top 4 is gonna be very, very important para sa mga teams. I mean, there's already 2 teams that is in that slot already. I think itong Sunday Shrooms at Matze has already secured theirs. Malalaman natin yung Heroics at REA-7 very, very soon. Prize pool, of course, going to be the exact same. 700 for first, 500 for second, 400 for third, so on and so forth, pare. So, ayun nga, not just that, they're also actually playing for that regional play-in spot, pare, and for a chance to qualify for the year-end tournament. But of course, up next, we're gonna take a look at the standings. Kagaya nga na sinabi ko, men, first place, second place already solidified dito, pare. I don't think Sunday Shrooms is gonna be removed galing dito sa first place. Considering na yung next game pa nila dito is the VNG matchup, which is on the very tail end ng week 7 natin. Pero matches, I don't think they're gonna move anytime soon as well. It's all about that third and fourth.
Totoo. Talagang yung nasa ilalim lamang ng top 4 at top 2 yung magiging heroes ng kwento natin ngayon sa ating broadcast for today. Kasi lahat except for Arise Gaming Team at Al Sovereign, ang mga maglalaban-laban para man lang mapolish yung mga spots nila, yung mga set wins at saka yung mga round differentials, yan yung magiging crucial sa ganitong magiging stats no? Para malaman kung sino yung makapasok sa ating top 4 kasi yung top 4 bracket pataas lang yung mga consider natin for the playoffs. So yung mga teams natin dyan na mukhang gusto makapag-clutch up, ito na yung panahon para magawa mo ng paraan na makapag-lay ng foundation para sa comeback mo in this season, looking specifically at REA-7 Armita, Vengeance at saka Cypher Pro Team para lang ma-attain yung goal nila sa ating Impact Summer Season. No? So very exciting times para sa ating schedule for today as well. No? Talagang the teams that are playing today have a lot at stake sa kanilang standings as we now have the schedule up for you today. It will be Vengeance versus REA-7 Ermita for our first set at saka naman ang Heroics versus Cypher Pro Team para naman sa ating second series.
Yeah, it's a very important win para dito sa Vengeance to kind of be still in contention para dito sa playoffs natin, and it's also a very important win para sa R7 considering na nandito na nga sila sa mas mahirap ng part ng kanilang schedule as right after Vengeance, it is going to be them up against itong matches. So it's not going to get any easier para dito sa REA-7 to qualify para dito sa ating top 4, especially considering na naghahabol pa nga dito ang ating Vengeance squad. And speaking of habol, para Heroics also wanting to chase after that number 3 spot dito sa standings natin. And Cypher Pro Team, one of the bigger surprises dito sa Impact. Honestly, a team na kind of just came out of nowhere, really went under my radar, pare. And ngayon they're contesting yung itong playoff spot natin kasama itong Vengeance, pare.
Yeah, so talaga naman titingnan natin kung makakahabol nga ba ang Cypher Pro Team considering that they really had like a good start. Actually, a good comeback into the season nga no? Not at the top of our heads when it comes to that top 4 conversation pero very much lighting up the discussion kapag sila yung pinag-uusapan no? Pero focus muna tayo dito sa ating unang serye. It will be Vengeance versus REA-7 Ermita where let's talk about one of these teams muna no? Ang Vengeance, which honestly may ups and downs nga yung naging journey nila dito no? They had a strong start to the season pero medyo nagkaroon ng ups and downs dahil doon sa sub-in sub-out situation. Sometimes may inconsistencies sa naging performance nila dito no? Bakit sa tingin mo, Sneaky, nagkakaroon sila ng ganito?
I think for the longest time, talaga yung naging problema ng Vengeance even before when they had yung Kid from Hell na roster where they have very, very solid showings sa mga ibang games nila. Obviously, can beat potentially yung top 4, no? Pero yung mga bad game kasi nila, as in sobrang bad na to the point na ayun nga, they could lose to Al Sovereign. It's that type of variance na is really jarring, no, para dito sa Vengeance kasi one day, akala mo mananalo ka na dito na Impact, but then the other day, you're losing to AGT potentially, no? So, ayun nga, there's a lot of uncertainty dito sa Vengeance. I mean, I can't blame it, no? It's really, yung mga players nila, granted, may mga experience sila pagdating sa mga LAN tournaments, but when it comes to tournaments like Impact, where, it's the cream of the crop ng Tier 2 nga dito, pare, ayun nga, maybe they feel a bit nervous, baka nga may napapantay na nga sa kanilang skill kumpara nga dito sa mga ibang lands na pinupuntahan nila dito, and maybe sometimes they just feel like they're a bit out of their depth, pare. But at the same time kasi, pag maganda yung laruan dito ng Vengeance, men, especially itong si Alretz, we could definitely see a surprise dito sa standings natin. And para naman sa R7, man, we're gonna put a pin on that as we take a look at the map dito. It's probably gonna be Port Black Widow and itong sub-base para dito sa map number 3. Oh!
No!
Ang Kara hindi ko in-expect. Actually, Port in-expect ko. But I was actually expecting R7 to pick Port dito sa Vito. I was surprised by Ankara, honestly.
Yeah, maybe they're not keen on at least risking one of the maps that you have just mentioned there, no? Considering na baka napag-aralan nga ng Vengeance yung compound map and possibly as well yung kanilang Black Widow. They're not gonna risk that anytime soon. Ankara being one of the more stable maps that they've had, taking points out of Sunday Shrooms if I remember correctly, tapos okay na naman sila against the top 4 teams in my recent memory, so Ankara, a surprise nga kasi usually iniiwan nila yan sa decider, so definitely gonna be a bit of an interesting time sa first map nila, especially since they are starting on that BL side. So not only do they get their map pick, but they also get the strong side as well of that map. Tapos yung port naman para sa Vengeance, honestly, this really could go either way, but for the stats that they've had dito sa map na to, they're relying upon yung kanilang magiging sniper. And you already mentioned Alretz, right? What about Kara? Because sometimes Kara flexes between the sniper role as well. So hopefully magkaroon sila ng choice para magkaroon sila ng flexibility when it comes to this. Kasi yun yung parang nakikita kong kulang na lang para sa Vengeance eh.
Yeah, but it is also a reminder, no, para dito sa Vengeance after choking such a huge lead against itong Heroics, no, on this exact map. So I think yun nga, ito rin yata yung tinatarget dito ng R7. Granted, ang ganda ng laruan ni Kara dito sa mapa na to. Ang ganda ng laruan ni Sua. I mean, Jelois did a really good job dun sa mapa na yun as well, as in it, doing his job as that backline. Pero, ayun nga, man, I feel like itong Vengeance, one of their biggest struggles talaga is closing out yung game. And I feel like R7, with the amount of experience dito sila on their side and the amount of talent na meron sila dito, especially galing dito kay Jeff Rocks, or ayun nga, it is gonna be quite the exciting time potentially dito, pare.
Totoo, pare. Kaya papasok tayo dito sa mga pinaka-importanting part ng broadcast. Ang ating predictions for this series will be REA-7 versus Vengeance. I think I'm gonna go 2-1 REA-7 just to be safe, no? I think this team is showing really high highs. A very exciting team to watch out din, no? And I think if Jeff Rocks is gonna be activated early on, then it's not too far to say na magiging activated din si JCD at saka si Jump pag nagsimula, no? Ikaw ba, Sneaky?
For sure. I think this is probably Jeff Rocks' one of his best maps. Galing from his last year's stint dito sa Gaon. I think Jam and JCD do really well dito sa map 1. So I feel like this is going to be R7 2-0. I mean, yun nga, no? As much as I believe dito sa Vengeance, pare, I feel like I can't gamble on a prediction on a team na hindi mo talaga alam kung ano itsura nila for the day. No? It's either going to be super good or super bad. So I'm going to go with the more consistent pick dito, pare.
Alright. 2-1 for me, 2-0 para kay Charles. Pero ang end result ay all the same lamang. Mananalo ang R7 sa casters predictions namin for this series. Pero Vengeance have an opportunity para ma-shut up sa amin, no? Pero hindi lang naman kami ang pwedeng makapag-predict para sa sharing ito, no? Since nanonood lang din naman kayo, makipag-interact na din kayo sa amin at makikisali na din sa aming magiging discussion kung sino sa tingin nyo ang mananalo, no? Will it be REA-7 Ermita or will it be Vengeance? Comment nyo lang dito sa aming comment section kasi alam namin na very important ang suporta ninyo sa teams na maglalaro ngayon at pati na rin sa laro ng Crossfire sa Pilipinas, no? So we're gonna be heading on into that first set. Ang Ankara map na pareho nating hindi na-expect na magiging map pick ng REA-7 Ermita, no? truth be told, nung binan nila yung dalawang maps na nakuha nila, they were possibly those two strongest maps that they've had, no? So, what's the logic going into this na Ankara yung pinik nila against Vengeance, pare?
Well, ayun nga, no? I mean, yun nga, Vengeance almost choked against yung Heroics in an earlier series. At the same time, yun nga, no? I mean, with sub-base being out, it's kind of the second best option para dito sa R7. So, ayun nga, no? They're banking on their best performances as of recent, no? I was actually just surprised na ayun nga, the port map wasn't picked first dito sa R7, pero feeling ko alam din ng R7 that Vengeance has moved dun sa map na yun as we do start dito sa Ankara. Jam with the first kill. Kara with the return, full mid control para sa R7 as they're gonna try to make a fast B-side play happen, pero Alrets nakabang na nga dito sa gilid, tries to go for the repeat, pero JCD will get the quick trade. 3 versus 3.
Really nice push from R7, no? Just something that you can kind of expect from the Cebuana squad, just taking fights early on with Jeff Rocks leading the fray once again. So talaga nga namang okay yung nagiging trade nila dito. Alreds trying to take advantage of that. It'll be a 3 versus 3. Jeff Rocks even finding to si Kara on very uncharacteristic mistake para kay Kara ngayon, giving up a numbers advantage, now making it a 3v2 early Vents control na nasimulan na ni Ajax with the split up and with the decision for Vengeance na laruin to with the retake scenario. Mukhang mas importante sa kanila na mahanapin nyo at least yung lurker nila. So Jeff Rocks down makes it an easier 2v2 retake.
Yeah, but already information na may player dito sa RS. That means walang tao dito sa ating ace side because of CJ's presence earlier dito sa mapan natin. Pero Ajax is gonna regret ego peeking dito sa may exit. JCD, the only one left alive. AK-47 on right stairs. CJ around the corner. Does go for the full check. Pero JCD magpapakita na nga dito. Possibility of a drop down is high para kay CJ. JCD turning around. Oh, nakakit pa nga from room A. Flash is gonna go through. CJ not blinded at all. Absolutely dodging yung flash and a good defuse para kay CJ to save round number 1 for Vengeance.
What a save for CJ, the late person from the party. Mukhang tamang-tama lang yung timpla niya dito into that 1 versus 2 clutch. Okay na sana kasi si JCD nalaro naman ayos yung kung paano niya binibigyan ng distance yung sarili niya kay CJ, pero nung nakahabol siya masyado nang naging aggressive with the flash peek. Di niya na-expect na na-dodge pa nga ni CJ yon, which gives him the opportunity to lay down the one headshot that he needed into the 1-0 scoreline para sa Vengeance. So balik in towards the 3-2 split at yung core nila mukhang ready na agad dito sa may CA control natin to find Azanet to even eats a bullet galing dito kay JCD.
I mean, you gotta expect that kung ikaw si Azanet dito. No presence on CA. Possibilities are endless. And unfortunately, gets his head taken off. So, Azanet early out of round number 2. Pero Kara around the corner trying to investigate. Pero nakabang na nga dito si Jeff Rocks. And they're actually playing with the overconfidence dito ng Vengeance at the moment. Wanting to get that trade. A bit desperate actually. And ngayon, sobrang hiwalay na ng depensa dito ng Vengeance. I mean, you can definitely go for another clutch attempt dito pare, pero R7 with a lot more solid of an offense kumpara dito sa depensa nila.
Maybe if Valorant says one shot no? Nakabot na ng isa at si JCD ang tutumba. Pangalawa pa itong si Jeff Rocks. It will be 2 for nothing but Charles and Ajax. Nakapasok na sa site. At isuwan na lang yung natitira dito. Kakabalik lang niya last week. Kaya ba niya mag-relax back into this round? 1v3 back in towards RS. Where Charles is already holding yung one of the mid windows na pwede niyang gamitin, pero Su has already made this contact and Charles gonna make his move right now. Expected this position pero si Suwa ay mapapatay lamang. So 1-1 para sa R7 para sa kanilang Ankara map.
Yep. Easy return para dito sa R7. Just a bit of a CA peak and a bit of over-aggression dito sa may hotels area natin. And R7 taking full advantage of those numbers. And the VNG gonna regroup this time around itong hotel. So gusto yata nilang i-push yung issue yung maaga dito. Problema nga lang, A-site, wide open, R7. Only 2 players, Suwa and CJ, pero isang flash lang. Bulag na yung players potentially. But here comes the flashes on the A-side jam. JCD, bawas na agad. Suwa, first one down dito sa top A. Charles could be up next. That's a 3K para kay CJ. Alret stuck dito sa loob ng spawn. Pumalit na kagamit ng kanyang sniper. Pero Ajax still kind of miles away galing sa kanyang teammate. Maybe fearing na merong akit dito sa 2F as Kara does decide to go for a peek. Pero numbers advantage para dito sa Vengeance. Someone possibly has to make a play para dito sa R7.
Could be Jeff Rocks. Flash pa nga siya, pero
Asinit, what?
perfectly precise towards the headshot. Asinit a little too far away from his teammates. No trade whatsoever until Kara enters the fight, jumps in towards Ajax 1v1. Sniper versus Alretz. Spotted again, called out, and he switches to the
Oh,
AWM.
no scope.
What a no-scope! Ajax, what a beautiful shot! Grabe yung flex. R7 with a second round.
Yun nga, sometimes you just have to send it on the sniper when you see that name. And saktong-sakto yung tira na yun galing dito kay Ajax. In that 1v1 of all things, another 1v1. And R7 this time coming out on top. As another round, merong early presence dito sa my hotel. Once again, kind of wanting to push forward, pero Vengeance time and time again napapunish na to. Pero Jam now fully aware of that hotel player. Kara goes down. Another 4 versus 5 pare, mapapahiwalay na naman dito yung depensa.
What a good peek. What a flick coming through as he walks outside of doors ng talaga nga naman Kara. He's ready and willing with the angle, but he didn't have any cover whatsoever, so really gave himself a 50-50 chance dito, no, hasn't it? Tamang lurk lang, pabalik dito sa my mid. Ajax spotted. Looks like he's down for the count. 1-for-1. Spotted by Jeff Rocks as well, and he's good for the trade into a 2-for-1 special. B-side definitely an option para dito sa R7 dahil dito. Bypass control. CA also on full lockdown because of Jeff Rocks, and now that Alretz is fully aware of the situation. Pwede niyang patayin tong si JCD and hold yung sight at nakita pa nga niya si Jam. 2v2, Jeff Rocks. A little too late to the call. Alretz with a double frag. Buong nag-iisa na lang tong si Jeff Rocks. Pulls out the Colt. 1v1 si Sua. Sobrang late pa pare. Napakalayo sa B-site natin.
Yun lang, Jeff Rocks around the corner. Doesn't spot itong si Sua right behind him. 2-2. Vengeance keeping it close dito sa Ankara map. Similar sa nakita natin in that earlier Ankara series from them. Pero ngayon, R7, medyo lumalaban na nga dito sa mapa. And what I said was definitely right, man. Jeff Rocks really does perform well every single time na lalapag sa dito sa Ankara. Already 7 kills up para sa kanyang team. And Alretz kind of leading the charge on the other side as well. Pero R7 has gotten a lot of these openings first. VNG nakakabawi lang sila sa pagkakamali ng R7. So, yeah, maybe need to tighten up a bit dito sa mapa natin, men.
Man, Jeff Rocks definitely. Sabi mo nga, on form. At sa tagal niyan sa mid, no? Yung tinagal niya dun sa mid, ang laki ng control niya dun sa tatlong sektor na pwedeng pang rotation. Which honestly is also a power position now for R7. Sino Jeff Rocks had full high mid pressure na pwede niyang gamitin dahil wala nang kahit sino pang magro-rotate doon dahil sa push ni Azenit, dahil sa pag-catch off guard dito sa mga players ng R7. Vengeance, excuse me. Definitely a prime player when you put him on a pedestal. As now R7, 4-1 setup. Mukhang full rotation pa nga dito sa may A site as they make presence. Noise being made all the way towards that A site position as both the Vengeance players, hindi sila gagalaw at all, no rotation as well. So, will be that 2 versus 5 expected inside of that A-set execute for R7.
Yeah, in 2-3 na to is kind of a counter to that mid push that R7 has been doing for the past few times. But this 2-3 could be the beginning of the end ng A-site. Flash, gonna be a bit late, but it is gonna be there anyways. Overpeak on the top 8 players, and CJ could go down, and that he does. Pero, DD3 pa rin. Kara already coming in from behind. Jeff Rocks na pawasan na kaagad. Meron ng LA control itong Vengeance. So as long as hindi mamamatay dito si Kara, there is pressure coming in from that backside.
That is a lot of pressure coming from all sides para dito sa R7. But JCD able to elevate, gets himself the double kill. 1v2, Kara all the way from the flank. And nga lang, napatay nga lang siya ni Jeff Rocks. From the defense na simula ng Vengeance kanina, it looked promising from CJ. Pero R7 still have control of the A site.
Yeah, I mean, that first headshot, galing kay JCD, that was everything para dito sa retake potentially ng Vengeance. I mean, I think the timings could have been better para sa kanila dito, especially from the A entrance player. Pero dahil nga bumaril na si Kara kanina, they're fully aware that the flank player is incoming. So ngayon, R7 with the lead this time dito sa mapa natin. And once again, it's the exact same mid-control setup para sa R7. And, I mean, Vengeance, gagana to kung B-site papasok dito yung R7, and it just so happens na ma-caught off guard sila ni Kara in that second mid position. Pero ayun nga, pag kumuha ng Tunnels B, itong R7, medyo magiging dangerous to para sa Vengeance, pare.
Lalo that napakalayo pa ni Kara dito. No? In theory, it wouldn't be too bad, especially with Azanet as the second layer of defense dito. Now that they also have some sort of this crossfire setup, pero hindi kasi nakatingin dun sa may bypass itong si Aldrich. No? He's stuck holding down yung high mid push natin as Azanet pulls his attention. Bypass push already in full notice for R7. Perfect flash! And it looks like Azanet and Aldrich profiting off of the success. 3 kills in a blink of an eye. Si Ajax lang ay makakuha para sa R7 ngayon, pare.
Yeah. Nazanet round the corner. Almost getting itong si Ajax, Jeff Rocks. Medyo malayo pa nga dito sa A-side. C4 out in the open dito sa may B-ramps. As R7 is gonna try to navigate their way back into this round. Obviously, mahirap pa makabalik nga dito. 4 na nakaupo dito sa C4. Pero R7, gusto pa nila na lumaban dito. Good shot on Sua. Got the tag through the wall. And a good wall bang galing kay Jeff Rocks. Caught him jump peeking. Dito sa may box, CJ around the corner. Will get itong si Jeff Rocks eventually. Ajax, the last one left alive, is gonna have to hit 3 amazing shots just to get a possibility, even a sniff, na makuha niya round na to. Pero yung spray, mapupunta na nga sa side ng Vengeance. That slight hesitation para patayin dito si Sua. Kinda just lost him the entire round. But at the same time, very well played galing kay Sua to actually use itong si Aldrich as the first contact so he can swing around the corner to a very vulnerable push, pare.
And not only does it also give him that comfortability to go for that peak, pero parang kapag let's say napatay nga siya, may second layer nga sila from the top of that stairs position. So if Suwa's not gonna hit that shot, si Aldrich yung papatay dito. So definitely something that Vengeance have cooked up nung nalaman nila kung saan mga galing yung last player ng R7, as it will be a 3-3. JCD now starting to put a lot more of that focus sa pagsama niya all the way back in towards that 5-man execute. Vents in control of R7. Vengeance now prepared for this with a 3-man split upon the A site itself. Close angle para dito kay Sua na mukhang na-spot pa nga ni Jam as he enters into the site. Look at the entry. Very much in full control of R7, but CJ's still here and he's been impeccable. He starts up with 1, but Jam and Charles, they already inside of the site, pare. 3v2, especially with Kara back on the flank yet again. Mukhang may pampalag pa ang Vengeance dito despite the numbers disadvantage, pero sa Vents mukhang aabot pa si Kara, papatay pa si Azanet. 1v2 for Charles, he peeks into the smoke at mukhang mas-surprise niya tong si Azanet. With the C4 in hand as well, pwede siyang mag-rotate all the way towards the B site pa, pare.
Yeah, Charles gonna get an easy rotation all the way to the B site, pero gusto niya yata makot itong si Kara with a bit of a timing dito sa CA, pero Kara instead gonna go the long way around, potentially just staying dito sa mini terrace actually. So medyo mapapaisip si Charles dito. No reaction whatsoever from Kara so far, so it could be a double fake towards this A site. Pero knowing kasi how CF players move, he's probably gonna check A first and probably go through that exit position. Pero hindi. It's a bit of a hunt. Instead, galing dito kay Charles. He doesn't want to put down the C4, but I think time is of the essence para sa kanya dito. The plant is gonna go down. And yun nga, mapapacheck si Kara dito sa A site, and he's gonna realize that it is actually right here. So Charles gonna be in a fight earlier than expected dito. Vent's position gonna be taken by Kara. Time is ticking dito sa C4. Charles, not a single pixel of information dito kay Kara in that 1v1. 4 and 3. Kara, with a bit of patience dito sa may mini terrace natin, will get this round. A single point lead. Another 1v1 going in the way dito ng Vengeance, pare.
Ice cold nga no, si Kara na kanina pang hinihintay yung full info. Ayaw niya i-gamble yung pag-rotate niya doon sa may B site without knowing na pwede pang bumalik mismo nung last player ng R7. So talagang the decision making on point. You could also see that they've been cooking up so much of that sandwich play na ginagawa nila kanina on the retake scenario, and this is one of those few times that it does work out in favor of Vengeance right now. So Sua, aggressive position. Ajax does not hit the shot, pulls out the coat, low on HP, pero papasok pa rin siya. Well, no trade whatsoever from Jam. Sa sobrang layo niya, does give Vengeance the numbers advantage without any trade whatsoever, pare.
Yeah. And I think in classic Vengeance fashion, yeah, they're gonna keep the position. Pretty very good para sa kanila dito. CJ will get taken down. Charles will get Sua from that room A position. And Vengeance, yun na nga yung sinasabi ko. I mean, this has been a Vengeance thing for quite a long time na they really do want to hold on to this B site. They really are thinking na meron pang rotation na manggagaling dito sa R7, but R7 is gonna keep it simple. 28 seconds left, a pop flash on the top A position, pero makakapasok pa sila dito as in it around the corner. Will spot itong si Charles, but does he spot the other player? Jeff Rocks out in the open. Alretz, Kara, last two left alive. JCD will not live to tell the tale. And the defuse is gonna start, pare. Vengeance with a bit of fight ongoing, pare. Our first 2-point lead, possibly in this entire game, men.
Oo nga eh. Been a while since we've seen a Vengeance that does feel very impressive on the retake scenarios. They're showing not only yung flanks, pero yung kung gaano kainit din sila when it comes to those 1v1 duels where they didn't even need a flank that time around. They just had full trust in towards fighting yung mga players na lumalabas pa lang sa exit, which R7, medyo nagkakasakit na when it comes to that over-aggression. And this time, it's not gonna be something good so far, as it will be the push coming through from R7. They're gonna try something different. Sa 3 straight rounds na ginagawa nilang push ang A site, mukhang sa bypass na sila papasok, pare.
Pero nandito naman si Kara just in case that there is a lurking Jeff Rocks around this corner. B site is the target ng R7 around the corner. Ajax, perfect position. Pag nag-peek dito si Azinet, he is a dead man. Pero Jam, still waiting. Ajax, yun lang. Jam maybe a bit too forward. Kara with a nice one tap. Pero Aldrets, uubusin ng lahat ng players ng R7 from that tunnels B position. You are gonna stay in tunnels. And Ajax, not much he can do about this one. 4 players against him. Sniper shots have to be insane para sa kanila dito. Pre-fire. Pero CJ coming in from behind. Colt, not gonna be enough. Instead, CJ's Colt is gonna hit 6 and 3. Our biggest lead the entire game para dito sa Vengeance.
And you can actually see that they're coming into this with very much not only confidence, but good grit coming through from these players. Even on the defense, kita mo na there's no stopping yung mga forward angles na ginagawa nila. It was glimpses from A site where they kept the same positions dun sa defense after the reset sa attack. Pero this time, no, parang sobrang aggressive na mga angles but nang hindi nila kailangang gumalaw masyado. It's that kind of thing that you're looking out for on the defense where you just know na tatama talaga yung shots mo. Yun yung parang naging puhunan para dito sa B-side defense nila dito. No? So, Vengeance, very good start on their GR kanina. Now that they swap in towards BL, now have the opportunity to take claim sa lahat ng mga pwede nilang kunin. High mid already focused up by Kara. And already they're also thinking about that flank watch. Kaya nandito si CJ very far away from the pack as well.
Yep. CA control para dito sa Vengeance. Not much mid presence sa R7. 3 players on that A site. Pero Vengeance now realizing that mid is freer than expected. No? So they're gonna try to swing for the hills para dito sa B site. Ajax though expecting there's going to be a bit of high band presence from the Vengeance squad. So, utus na lang dito sa Ajax. Watch tunnels B for me, my man. Ako na bahala dito sa high mid, but Jeff Rocks, one headshot could be all the difference. Dito, Flash is going to go through Jeff Rocks. Out in the open, nasa loob ng RS, but is going to get instantly spot dito ni Kara. I mean, Jeff Rocks trying to play the off angles, pero siya pa ngayon nakot dito. 4 versus 5. Ajax decided to go all the way around. At least makakuha sila ng hotel control, if ever. Pero medyo mahirap na makapasok dito ng B, but positioning is a bit tight para sa Vengeance. Actually, I don't like this. They're not that spread out.
Oh my goodness. Lalo na kapag umabot yung double flank dito ng R7. Ajax and JCD are gonna have a good time unless Kara and Aldrich, they fight out of it. Hindi na siya sobrang sikip at this point. Now R7, now rely on Charles. He hits one tap. Yun nga lang, si Ajax, that pasok na din with another, so it was winnable for both sides of the team. Yun nga lang, Aldrich hits another shot, no time whatsoever. Para kay Charles, it looked promising nung nagsimula tayo sa execute, pero sa Vengeance, it's as easy as one more clock shot papunta kay Charles. With the time running down as well, it's a 7th round, no-brainer para sa Vengeance.
Yeah, medyo binadali ni JCD yung flank na dito sa hotel. In all honesty, I feel like that would have been possible para sa R7. Pero Vengeance, good awareness galing sa kanila dito, especially from Alretz, making sure that that AWM is drained from that hotel entrance. Grabe naman yun. Vengeance, so far performing well on both halves dito sa Ankara map natin. And okay nga, you can see the struggle dito ng R7 to get anything started. But at the same time, di naman sila kulang sa kills. It's really about losing a lot of 1v1s dito sa mapa.
Yeah.
At the same time, yung Vengeance kasi nako-caught off guard sila sa, or rather si R7, nako-caught off guard sa more defaulty style ni Vengeance dito, which you do rarely see sa Impact.
That and how willing they are to take fights then on the post plant, Just 2 shots clearly were more than enough para ma-halt mismo yung speed ng R7. Kita mo si Jeffrox at si JCD, we're willing to take fight with Sua. It's the same for him as well. Entry from Vents. Even though he was blinded, mukhang kuwang-kuwa pa nga niya yung devil kill dito. As Jams and Charles are down, R7 now playing the retake yet again.
Yeah. Bad timing, honestly. Throwing the flash at the wrong time on that Vents position. Ngayon, CA secured na. R7 is probably around they would likely lose. Medyo mahirap na makapasok ulit dito. Flash is gonna go through on that top A position. Azenit can't be blinded at all. Jeffrox mabibiktima na nga dito ng M4 ni Azenit as he does get the 2K. Eventually, Ajax will get him 8-3. Vengeance 2 points away from closing out itong Ankara map, and R7 blindsided na naman. Another just straight up execute galing sa Vengeance.
Not looking good, pare, for R7. Giving so many rounds. Definitely crucial para sa mga standings natin, as Alreds continues to hit shots like that. Ajax down, sniper gone para sa R7. As it looks like Jam is fully aware that CJ is just holding yung within doors natin. Killed off eventually. 4v4 Azenit after his presence dun sa may A site. Mukhang tatapos siya dito on the way towards B as he kills off one Kara with another. Every single pillar from R7 is getting capped off by Vengeance.
Yeah, with Kara performing like this, kind of hard to stop him. 14-6 so far with 10 headshots. And Alreds scoring a lot in this game as well. Para naman sa R7, it has only been itong si Jeffrox realistically. Ajax has been hitting some nice shots pero not enough output from yung sniper ng R7. So Charles having to clutch up. But yun lang, as it will instantly spot him. B-side plant underway. And medyo malayo dito si JCD.
Layo talaga. Sana may dala siyang pamiesta. Pansit. Maybe a couple of barbecue sticks para lang makapasok dito into this 1v4. Si Kara lang ang mamimit niya dito. And with a performance like this, it is no doubt that Kara is gonna hit a shot like that. Set point para sa Vengeance against the map pick of the players on R7, pare, And we had a lot of doubt into this, There was a chance that you could have actually picked one of your better maps, but this being Ankara, I don't know, man. The choice kind of feels a little iffy for me, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the port wasn't that good of a choice as well para sa Vengeance. But, here we are. I guess, Vengeance doing R7 a favor siguro dito para by picking that map number 1. Pero Alreds down in an early position thanks to that shot kay Ajax. Vengeance has to be careful not to get too desperate para tapusin yung game na to or else will get cursed once again dito sa mapa. Pero Kara wanting that kill dito kay Jam, and he finally gets it. Pero JCD with a fast reply from that high mid position. Vents possibly occupied. Pero si Ajax pa makakuha dun kay Sua. If Sua got that kill, A-site sana para dito sa Vengeance, men.
One of the only times that their default playstyle has bit them in the rear. At mukhang si Jeffrox mamimesta na lamang 1 kill. In fact, 1v3. Hasn't it spotted all the way towards wooden doors. So, inahabol na siyang tatlong R7 players as they're trying to walk in towards the RS position. Habang si Azenit may space pa para laruin kung saan niya gustong mag-plant. High mid also an option for him kung gusto niya makakuha ng kahit sinong kill. Pero, I think the first contact for him would be itong si Ajax, but he has the AWM, so medyo risky yung magiging position niya dito. 1 minute on the clock. A site wide open, the closest bomb site para sa kanya, and he decides to linger inside of it. While R7 have all the numbers in the world para ma-overwhelm naman naging isang si Azenit na literal na 2 bullets na lang mapapatay siya ng kahit sino dito.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario siguro, Azenit gonna plan for entrance A. Siguro boxes siya maglalaro dito, or you can actually play all the way from that 2F position and maybe can surprise itong si Charles or si JCD. This is actually perfect.
Oh.
This is perfect and can potentially get to. Pero JCD, I think he's aware. Yun lang. I mean, if you've played this game for the longest time, I think alam mo na kung anong sitwasyon yung kalabasan doon in this 1v3. There's like, yep, he's gonna plan for 2F and aakit na lang siya dun sa high mid and is gonna attempt this. Pero R7 too good for those kinds of tricks. Pero realistically, still, Vengeance pa rin yung match point dito. So, yeah, any single mistake from R7 and that is map over, pare.
Absolutely, pare. Think at this point, R7 are still trying to linger around yung idea ng default playstyle ng Vengeance, no? And the only time that they actually got punished was that previous round nung nakuha nila yung mid control early on. CA not as flexible as usual in that position. Now, Jeff Rocks now holding yung mismong CA natin. Medyo risky nga na tinatransport yung bomb nila dito as they have full hotel control. Pero if he has the perfect timing, he could catch off these two players na mukhang nabigay na lang yung window. To possibly be a split push in towards B, and Ajax did not expect it. As it already inside of that B site. At mukhang si JCD lamang ang mag-iisang standalone guardian para lang hindi makapasok ang Vengeance, which already have control over stairs. Si Jeff Rocks with the flank as well. Car's not gonna hit the shot. Eventually, si Jeff Rocks ang makakapanalo dito. 4v4. Flat coming down as well with the spray on through Aznit and Alretz. They put all focus in towards that RS position. Jeff Rocks and Charles though, they make it a 1v1. At si Aznit na lang playing around that slide position. Charles trying to wiggle around yung batteries natin. Spotted yung ulo. At mukhang konting taps lang. Kuhang-kuha ni Charles para sa 5th round ng R7.
Yun nga, this kind of game smells familiar para sa VNG. So they're gonna need to calm down and close out itong mapa natin. I mean, R7 obviously, itong si Jeff Rocks and the rest of the squad have been in this position before where they had to come back from a huge deficit. So, know exactly what to do dito sa mapa natin. Problem lang, kung may mapick sa kanila dito, this is not gonna be too good of news. Pero yung A-side to players though, I like na medyo naging aggressive sila dito and willing to go for those openers. And Ajax, speaking of opening, Hotel is open 24/7 para sa kanila dito thanks to that sniping. Vengeance looking to attempt an A-side take. That's the entirety of their fake. The other player in that hotel position, Charles with the spray. Nakuha na ka na isa. Jam will get Azinit. Jam will get Kara. Alretz lang natira dito sa Vengeance. And he will get naded. He will get tapped out. 9 and 6 R7. Possibilities are endless dito sa mapa natin. All of a sudden, they only need 3 to tie it up in order to take it to overtime, pare. Vengeance, they need to finish it now before
3.
things will get out of hand, man.
Just 3 more rounds for OT, pare. And if you remember, that's also 3 straight rounds para sa R7. The lucky number back. That it's going to be a very aggressive high mid push. Coming through from Vengeance. Mukhang hindi na-expect ni Jam. He has to win out the fight, Kara. Eventually gets the first blood. They are already sa exit, pare. Pero with the flash, Charles is gonna get 3 kills. In fact, nag-iisang nasa A-site. At mukhang siya na lang yung kinailangan ng R7. Spotted pa nga yung nasa labas ng A-site. But Azinit kills it off. A triple kill para sa Vengeance as well. Si Charles na lang. Siya lahat ang gumawa. Pero baka hindi pa sapat para sa R7 ito, pare. C4 claimed up by Azinit. B-site wide open for him. Angle trained. It does not hit the shot. But eventually, Alretz will pick up the 10th round. And it will be yung first set para sa Vengeance. Ankara goes towards their way, pare.
What a way to end it, no? Itong mapa na Ankara last round, pushing itong mid, going into high mid, going into spawn, and all the fights happen in exit. So, ayun nga, everyone just filed on in. And ayun nga, fortunately para dito sa Vengeance, the C4 wasn't in too bad of a position na kailangan pa ni Charles na mag-swing from a site. And, you know, Alretz has the handle of it. Granted, he did miss that first shot. He only needed to hit that second one. And Vengeance, ayun nga, with a very, very good start dito sa game natin. Just like I said, R7, if you mess up once, then the map is over. And obviously, nagkamali sila doon.
Yeah, and another mistake that they also had was nahiyaan lang nilang ma-activate yung mga players na dapat hindi ma-activate sa kanilang side. No? Kara definitely on good form. Azinit, very good luck timing as well from him. Talagang nakikita mo na sometimes you just need Azinit, pare. When it comes to that execute sa kanila, talagang very reliable on that rifling. At saka nga naman na even on their GR side, very much impressive yung newcomer nating si CJ. No? How many times have we seen this guy, solo anchor, na mga dalawa, tatlo kukunin niya bago siya mamatay. This guy just was fiery hot today. And it was at the expense of R7, pare. Yung aggression na lagi natin na-expect sa kanila. Just didn't work out their way this time around.
Yep. Granted si Jello, you know, he's had very good games para dito sa Vengeance, but I feel like they needed a bit of an upgrade para dito sa kanilang backline. And I feel like CJ performed up to expectations bilang sub, and I feel like he's gonna be staying here for a while. Kung ako yung Vengeance, keep him on the team, man, kasi I feel like this formula is working para sa kanila dito. I mean, they can finally close out maps like itong Ankara. I'm a bit worried though para dito sa map 2 ng Vengeance, considering port, tapos map pick pa nila yon. Obviously, GR side start para dito sa R7. So, Vengeance, they need to keep that same energy na nakita natin from their BL sides Ankara, at madala nila yon dun sa port, pare.
Well, at least sa positives na nakikita natin no? Si Ajax medyo on form naman with the sniping no? So definitely a sniping 1v1 that we're gonna be expecting out of Alrets at saka kay Ajax no? And let's just say Jeff Rocks performed up to standard, pero hindi siya yung above expectations na usually makikita natin from Jeff Rocks no? So I need a little bit more of that oomph, pare. Alam mo yung dagdag na spice kapag kumakain ka ng isang bagay. Parang nagpapa-elevate yun sa mismong kinakain mo. Yun yung hinahanap natin para kay Jeff Rocks. And buti na lang Charles was there to kind of clean things up na medyo yung nawawala para kay Jeff Rocks dito no? Parang masasabi natin that R7 was that close but not close enough.
Yeah, for sure. R7, it was after the second half started, it was just a horrible defense para sa kanila dito. And yun nga, they kind of got back into it, pero feeling ko medyo late na rin na nakabalik na din yung R7 sa Ankara map natin. It was already 9. So, ayun nga, didn't really leave yourself any room to make mistakes dito sa map natin. Yun nga, obviously, Jeff Rocks is gonna perform dito sa Ankara. That's a very common thing to see. But I was just a bit disappointed dito sa mga ibang players ng R7 na in-expect ko naman maybe a bit more output. Galing dito kay Charles, maybe a bit more output. Galing dito kay JCD, granted maganda naman yung mga ibang round nila dito. But then, yun nga, it wasn't the best first 7 to 8 rounds para sa kanila, pare.
Yeah, not the most exciting first half para sa kanila on GR where parang ang dami ko nakikitang opportunities na pwede nila kunin yung mid. The only times na nakikita natin na ginawa ng nila yon is nung medyo nagiging late na, kung kailan hot na yung mga players ng Vengeance no? Only a few times where we've seen Azenet be willing to actually get the forward spaces. Tapos yung pagpatay nila doon sa may wooden doors, I would have liked to see a lot more of that sa R7 kasi yun yung parang nakasanayan ko sa playstyle nila on Ankara. Siguro naghahanap sila ng time para mas ma-experiment nila yung kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin dito sa map on GR, where honestly it was the CJ show to begin with nung nagde-defend siya doon sa may A side, pero you can't play GR all throughout doon sa half, pare, kaya medyo kailangan na ng konting linis doon sa regard na yun. Pag sa BL naman medyo mas naging maayos sila mas naging confident na sa mga duels yung mga players nila. And I do think if it was just all GR side, I think Vengeance would have actually lost out on a lot of fights against R7 dito, pare.
Yeah, ayun nga. I mean, I would have wanted to see, maybe Charles having a good top-off game. It's always fun seeing him, kind of frag out dito sa mapa natin. At the same time, gusto ko sana makita si Ajax actively challenging si Alrets more, because Alrets was just sniping everyone for free, walang pressure whatsoever, from the R7 squad. I mean, the only reason kung bakit mamamatay siya, I guess, is probably him missing and him get tasted down. Pero most of the time, nakikita ko si Alrets dito, he's just sitting comfortably in his sniper spot and just picking off yung R7 players, isa-isa dito.
Ay, grabe naman no? As we take a look, yung set summary natin, 10-6 nga for Vengeance, as honestly, we kind of expected that consistency out of them. 1.70 para kay Kara, 1.60 fall Arlets, tapos positive nga naman tong si Azenet. So definitely more than just consistent, talagang showing up where they need to nga naman no? But to be a little bit more objective, pare, parang ito yung dapat natin talaga makita sa Vengeance, na medyo nawawala pa nga dahil dun sa mga times na natatalo nga sila before the game that they had last week. So it's a welcome opportunity, especially integrating tong si CJ after Jeloy being lost on the sauce dito sa ating roster. So I guess if they're gonna move forward with this kind of roster, then I'm all here for it, pare, if it means being consistent sa roster natin.
Yeah, but I mean, just look at yung si JCD Jam and si Ajax. I mean, granted, Ajax, it did hit some very nice shots, but their AP suggests otherwise na they really had any lasting impact dito sa game natin. Pero ayun nga, may Kara, Alrets, Azenet, as long as these three perform, I think they're going to be fine against R7. And ayun nga, no, this is why being a Vengeance fan is a roller coaster. Kasi ayun nga, no, these are the high highs and what happens when we see the low lows dito, pare. Maybe we are gonna see it snap number 2. Pero I mean, so far, ganda ng form dito ng Vengeance. And if Suwa can just play slightly better dito, pare, hindi ko kind of take this series actually.
Honestly, that's very much true, pare. So as we take a look at yung set MVP natin, malalaman natin kung sino sa tatlo at mukhang si Kara pa nga to no? At one point, the 30 Bomber has claimed up yung set point natin at yung set MVP for this series as a whole, 1.06 para sa KR niya. He's been killing everybody every single time nung nasa GR siya yung actively nagro-rotate all the way from high mid, coming up in towards that CA control para meron silang sandwich play na nangyayari every single time. And I think he was also the MVP pagdating doon sa kanilang BL start no? Kasi parang it's just so comfortable to watch to see this guy just out-frag everybody on the server. And now that he's already back on form, pare, it's just gonna be good sales from him moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, kung ako si Suwa dito or si Azinit, and I think I'll just send it in every single time. I don't care if I'm 3 and 7, 136 KD, pare. I mean, if my support player is performing exactly like this, then mamomotivate akong mag-NP ng mas malala dito. So, yun nga, no, props to the homie. Really does a good job of kind of holding the line para sa kanyang team, but at the same time, he's allowing itong si Suwa, despite his, not so stellar na score pare, to go faster and, take map control to Vengeance dito pare.
Yeah. And if that's gonna be the case para sa kanila on that port map, hopefully Suwa can catch up. Hopefully Suwa can adapt nga sa pace at tempo na ginagawa ng Vengeance this time around. R7 down 0-1, a very tall task ahead of them. They're coming into the map pick of Vengeance, pero you've also said time and time again, this is not a bad map for them as well. So sa tingin mo ba, magbabago na ito para sa R7 pagdating natin sa port map, Charles?
Maybe it is gonna change para sa R7. I feel like it is a better shot para sa R7 kumpara nga dito sa Ankara, no? But we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, Vengeance, there's a reason kung bakit nila pinik yung map na to. But that TL side is still something they have to go through.
That's true. That's true. So hopefully it will be a good game para sa pareho nating kupunan. 1-0 para sa Vengeance. Pero sa ating second set ay malalaman natin kung makakapag-outlast nga ba ang R7 against this Vengeance squad when we throw into a short break. So huwag kayong aalis. Magbabalik ang Impact Summer. Tuloy-tuloy lang ang aksyon sa Impact Summer 2025 as we have the two Titans battling head-to-head dito sa ating magiging second set. Ang Vengeance laban sa REA-7 Ermita at nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Ang pagkatapos ng Ankara ay papasok tayo dito sa port kung saan nga naman ay parehong alam na mapa para sa pareho nating kupunan. Pero what do you think is the stark difference para sa pareho nating teams kung gusto nila manalo, Sneaky?
Well, I think R7 definitely has more experience pagdating sa map ng port, pero yung Vengeance has been a team for longer, no? So I think teamwork is gonna be on the side ng Vengeance dito. And R7, ayun nga, no? I mean, historically, galing din sa last Impact, they've done pretty well naman dito sa mapa na to. So I think they're gonna be fine para dito sa first half. I think yung objective lang talaga dito ng Vengeance is to at least get something going dito sa BL side kasi you really don't require that much rounds to take over, no? Dito sa mapa na to, I think you only need 3 at most, siguro 4 kung medyo swerte ka pa nga, pero usually most of the time we do see like 2 and 3 and maybe a comeback happening dito sa second half if ever they choose to do so, pare.
I mean, they've been defaulting all throughout doon sa Ankara kanina, which honestly, kapag pasok dito sa Porte, mas nagsusut na nga siguro ngayon yung playstyle para sa kanila. So if they're gonna want to start slow on BL, para lang magkaroon sila ng info, maybe a pick-off or 2, siguro nga naman mas may maayos yun sa pag-transition nila all the way towards that BL position, no? But GR, to start with, para dito sa R7, malaki ang magiging task dito para sa kanilang sniper na si Ajax, which honestly, we need a little bit more juice out of pare, no? Will he be yung proactive sniper na makikita natin sa kanya or will he stay top A every single time, pare? Who knows? Kasi at this point, R7, they're willing to try anything, pare.
Yeah, I think simula pa lang ng game na to, no, feeling ko R7 really needs to set the pace immediately dito, pare. I think they cannot allow BNG to really gain any distance or at least really feel like they can win dito sa first half. Pero R7 just as a good old standard 2-1-2. And with Ajax dito sa top A, in that usual position where the sniper is. So let's see. Anong gagawin ng Vengeance dito?
Talaga. We'll stack up back towards that B-side position as they also make some presence all the way on bridge. Ang Vengeance nakakuha na ng space all the way towards that Z side, so it's telling me na baka magiging endgame nila on that P. Ang ganda ng nade throw. Ang ganda ng damage all the way done towards Azenit, who does trade a bit more damage all the way towards Charles as well. So the 1 minute on the round does not spell disaster for either of these teams, pero medyo interesting na na-place nila both si Alretz at saka si CJ on the respective positions. Pwede sila makapag-push on B or A site, but as of the time, they can actually try to contest itong third position para lang ma-surprise yung dalawang anchors on the B side, pare.
That's big nade. Big damage. Azenit half HP already. Charles cannot get the full spray down. Instead, si Jeff Rox na lang pala makakakuha nun. Alretz, the only one left alive. The sniper spotted dito sa B side is gonna fall to his doom. And R7, first round on the board para sa kanila dito. Bit of a mid-take potentially to pivot into A side. Prevented dito ng R7 defense.
Chilling lang si Jeff Rox na malapit lang sa may bodega, which kind of gave him the open opportunity para lang masprayan sila nung focus na focus sila kay Charles, pare, no? So may distraction at may bait and switch pang nangyari. So R7 definitely working well on the map on their GR side. Performing as expected. Jeff Rox though not expecting to si Kara. Nakapasok pa nga dito sa may CA control. So early 1 for nothing. No NHP tong si Kara, so that's also to be of note. Pero still, numbers advantage giving to Vengeance, and R7 now relegating tong si Charles to hold yung mid natin.
Yep, Jeff Rox already out of the picture to start ng round. CA not going to be taken in their hands. But okay lang naman yung depensa dito na R7. I think they can just stay where they are. I think mid's going to be a bit of trouble para sa kanila dito as Vengeance has been targeting it for the past few rounds. And the only realistic fight na meron sila dito was itong si Jeff Rox trying to check from that CA position. Pero Ajax, I think, fully aware na an A-side take could be underway. CJ Sua in that CA position. Flashes, nades are gonna start to be thrown dito sa top A natin. And yeah, Vengeance gonna start to swing for the hills. Hasn't it a bit too early for that swing? Ajax gonna take that opportunity, pare. M4 gonna do a bit of damage. Charles will get itong si CJ, and all of a sudden BNG reduced to 3 as well as itong R7 thanks to that kill dito kay Ajax, kind of from behind. Will not get tagged dito kay Jam actually, pero tignan mo yung HP bars ng Vengeance. Medyo mababa na rin dito. R7, Charles opportunity flashed on that ace side. Kara will get JCD. Charles will get Suwa in return 2 versus 2, pero yun lang, naubos pa nga ng Vengeance. Etong R7, medyo pinatagal dito sa ace side, and it's actually them coming out on top.
And with Vengeance also committed sa position nila, they can't really do anything but fight since medyo malayo na sila all the way towards LA. There's communication problems aside, mukhang na-sweep nila yun because of how well they're able to coordinate into the situation pagkatapos ng kill nila to make it a 3v3. R7 sobrang lapit na nga since Charles was also in the prime position para masuportahan tong si Ajax, but Vengeance did a good job of trying to knock away yung mga nag-rotate pa lang all the way towards exit. So would have been anyone's game, pero the priority towards yung ladder at saka yung top A really has done good wonders para sa Vengeance to save the round entirely. So 1-1 back in towards the control of Vengeance this time around as they walk back in towards their default. 2 players back in towards LB this time. And an opportunity para kay CJ para makapag-lurk, pero Ajax is not gonna move a muscle. The stars of the show dito ay yung dalawang anchors mismo sa B-side.
Yun nga, Kara down to half HP. Has been the spark plug para sa opensa ng kanyang team dito. But another A fake. And it is actually going to be R7 slightly biting. Pero hindi pa rin gumagalaw yung mga B players dito. They don't really have to. A side could just be defended by 2 players, no problem. So, dalawa pa rin. And possibly a rotation galing dito kay Charles that could get them in trouble. Jeff Rox actually clearing itong SD. That's going to be early information na walang manggagaling dito sa ace side. But Kara has a chance to get this flank going. Charles, JCD in that curve position. BNG nakapasok na pero hindi pa nila mabababa ang C4 dito. Jeff Rox from behind. Is anyone gonna be watching his position? CJ a bit too busy to watch itong HB. Alret's now looking Good timing para sa kanya, but the headshot not expecting Jeffrox from the LB position at nagkaubusan na nga ang BNG dito sa site. Suwa will not even see the C4 tick to 30, pare. That's a 10-second retake from R7, pare.
You noted yung flank all the way from Jeff Rocks nung nasa steel door pa lang siya. And that perfect moment, that's when JCD and Jam decided na hindi nila lalabanan yung pag-entry ng Vengeance. They both went back towards sa likod ng B-site itself. At hindi din sila nagpipick. Sa ilang flashes na binabato sa kanila, sa naming taong pumasok ng Vengeance sa B-site, hindi sila nagpick. At dahil din doon, yung Vengeance medyo nag-hesitate sa pagkuha ng objective kasi hindi nila makita ng kahit sino. Baka ma-overwhelm sila at baka nga din naman naisip nila na parang madali lang pala kunin yung B-site na to. No? So they were just surprised, pare.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's still the exact same. This is just how port works, man. Kailangan mo lang ng early rotator from that exit position who is also helping with that mid play. Pero Vengeance. Oh, but as in it will get taken down, but I think that's fine. A fine casualty para sa Vengeance, a 1-for-1. Wala ng sniper itong R7 and Vengeance can just wait around, potentially set up a re-hit dito sa A site if ever they choose to do so. So, wouldn't be surprised if you see a player galing sa R7 scrambling to get that AWM back, pare.
That's true. Jeff Rocks is there para he has an opportunity to hold that if he wants to. He is the type of player na can change up to whatever weapon suits the situation. But this time, Vengeance, as you mentioned, there's an opportunity for them to re-hit and re-hit. It looks like it will be. Daming tao doon sa may LA. And the fact that they killed off Ajax, they know about that. The sniper is down. And I don't think Jeff Rocks is actually willing to take the sniper. He wants to take the fight closely. Ascara's gonna entry on down. One shot to the dome. Double kill para kay Jeff Rocks. Good enough damage into a 3v2. CJ, all he can do is try to relegate the numbers. And it looks like it's done enough.
Wait, hold on.
Double kill for CJ. An opportunity for Vengeance to steal away the round despite the numbers advantage kanina.
Yun lang, CJ. Nabawasan ka pa nga from that exit position. Aldret's the only one left alive. Has to take this first shot kay Charles pero parehong sila magta-top A dito. Aldret's will not even get to peek, will not even get to shoot. As a retake, galing dito sa R7, CJ, bit risky on that drop down, no? Medyo makikita ka ng dito sa mga railing near that exit position and he does get taken down to half HP ASAP. And R7, just like I said, they're just playing the map with defense, good shots. Pero Ajax may be a bit too excited to peek itong B-side position. Pero Jeffrox makakuha ng dalawa. All of a sudden, it is equal on both sides. 3 versus 3 and it's a full retake from LB.
On flank coming through from R7. The experimentation does not end here. As Jam, he's gonna entry on down. CJ gets a spray down, double kill. And a 1v2 para kay Charles. Alves just holding through the smoke and it looks like a one-way para kay Charles this time. Alves picking up the last. A 2-3 para sa Vengeance. A bit of a ballsy play para sa R7 no? Nobody would expect a triple flank. Pero Vengeance had it red kanina and R7 able to capitalize on this despite it.
Yeah, and Ajax, once again, naghahanap na ng early position dito sa may house entrance. There's a bit of a gap on that right side to try and catch any core players off guard. Pero Vengeance trying to target that play site once again. R7, I'm actually surprised na hindi nila challenge yung mid masyado, but I think they're going to be fully aware na Vengeance is pouring a whole lot of numbers just to get that mid control. Pero Jeffrox spotted on top A. And actually, surprisingly enough, nasa kapilang side ng mapa itong si Ajax. So Ajax, opportunity to defend from his spot. Ajax spotted dito sa BR, decides to re-peek itong si Aldrets and gets dinked in the process, pare. 3 players low para sa R7. This is not looking good.
One of the only times that we've seen them active on that mid side. Already quickly punished thanks to the presence of Kara. Already is now back towards CA. What a flick from JCD! A really nice shot coming through. Kara down, CA control already lost by Vengeance. Quickly turning on its head. Somehow, yung health disadvantages na meron ng R7, yung damage na nakuha nila kanina, mitigated thanks to the amount of players that they still have. Pero Vengeance fully investing back in towards that mid position. Charles not expected. CJ gonna hit the shot. Already rotating back in towards exit where he's gonna hit the shot yet again. Sua with a headshot. JCD gets a really good spray down. A 1v2 for Alretz. Pulls out the code. Kills up si JCD. 48 seconds. Has to pick up the bomb. Pero yun nga lang. Jam and Ajax not too far behind. He has the AWM pero there's a bit of hesitancy from him.
No.
Quick scope does not hit. Colt does though. 1v1. Sniper versus sniper. And Ajax already with that nade gives the end zone. Alretz hits the quick scope. Vengeance gets the third round equalization.
Yun nga. Opportunity of a lifetime para dito sa Vengeance. They have gotten 3 rounds dito sa BL side nila. And ito yung sinasabi ko, R7, maybe a bit too late to try and reinforce itong mid-defense kasi Vengeance, if you've done this last round, man, they could have actually prevented this from happening. Especially wala masyado nagko-contest ng CA other than dito kay Jeffrox, and he's been caught multiple times. Thanks to that flash, and JCD will get a bit too greedy dito para Jeffrox around the corner. Good flash from BR, pero Kara pa rin yung mahuhulog doon. How did that happen?
Oh, Kara. The second time in a row that CA is not your favorable position, pare. Sayang, men, kasi Jeffrox was in a very, very bad spot. Kakataas lang niya dito. Bakit about CA? Pero mukhang trade na train siya dito sa angle. JCD with a good trade-off din. At least now, 1-for-1 setup. LA. Already you know that CJ is gonna try to make some noise. There's a possibility na fake nga lang to dahil sa ginagawa ni CJ. Also, LB, very much open for the taking no? But because there's the lack of info doon sa may Z position at saka yung pagbigay nila on CA, they're not willing to take the risk of a split up yet again. So the only thing that they have going for them is that double push doon sa may house B, pare.
Jeffrox getting a bit frisky dito sa mid, pero feeling ko may mag-check dito. CJ a bit sus. Pero siya pala yung masaspatan dito sa BR. No control whatsoever, and all missing a shot dito kay Ajax. That could have been the opportunity to jam. Nasa God box, will not get as in it. Instead, si Charles na lang pala makakuha nun. 4-3. R7 back in the lead dito sa game natin, and they're gonna need to get the rest of the rounds dito sa half, or else, risk having a worse second half dito sa map, min.
Yeah, man. The absolute thing that you have to do is to get as much rounds as possible, at least on the BL side. Vengeance doing exactly that now. Putting all their nades in one basket, all the way towards top A. Ajax hitting one shot despite him getting blinded. Kara down, spray down coming through from Jeffrox. Looks like he only gets one. Si Sua, makakasagot pa nga lang, but R7 still having full control doon sa may A site. It's just gonna be all that's left, pare. The sniper is already knocked out thanks to Jam and his presence. A 5th round para sa R7. The 2-round lead that we've been looking for dito sa GR natin.
Yun nga. 2-point lead is what they need. They're gonna need to get this last one as well kung gusto nga nilang magkaroon ng at least a somewhat comfortable second half. But comfortable is an understatement, pare. This is already a bad situation para sa GR side ng R7. So they're gonna try to recover from it. Pero back into the default we go. Past a Vengeance and Sua. I think he should have known na medyo nangungulit na dito si Ajax. He's not exclusively staying in that top A position. And with Ajax being more enabled dito sa map, ito yung sinasabi ko, man, if Ajax is just slightly more active, Vengeance is gonna have a harder time. Pero Jeffrox spotted in top A. Now they realize na walang sniper dito sa top A, but the nade misses by just an inch, pare.
Sayang, pre. Would have been an easy frag onto Jeffrox instead. Putting the numbers back into the 5v4 where they're now either thinking of overwhelming tong si Charles or back into towards that split up dun sa B-side. Pero because napatay na tong si Sua, they know that Ajax could be anywhere, but Charles gets spotted by Azinet. Good timing on the peak as well. Ajax though, not expected of this position whatsoever, so there's an opportunity for Vengeance back in towards Z. Into a B-site execute where Jam and JCD now have the sole responsibility yet again, but Vengeance can just go back. And not because they killed off tong si Charles kanina, an easier entry could be possible, but Ajax, trained on the angle, no scope does not hit. Has to go back to safety, pero he wants to take the fight yet again. As it down, Kara with another as Jeffrox gets the trade off in time. Vengeance, they're getting relished in this crossfire. At mukhang si Aldrich na lang called out as well. One shot to the dome, 2v1, but a spray down is enough para kay Jam to get a 6-3 para sa R7. Not a perfect scenario, but a lead nonetheless for their GR side.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse, honestly, para dito sa R7. Could have been 5-4 with the way that things were going, no? Para dito sa Vengeance. But Vengeance opportunity now to defend this map, and I feel like, pagdating naman sa more defaulty style, that is where Vengeance does get most of their strength. But speaking of, this is not looking defaulty at all, hasn't it? Getting a bit frisky in that mid position. JCD will get taken down, pero hasn't it? Decides to run with the smoke out, pare. He could have gotten a second one if he actually had his gun out, pare. Charles, Jam, last two players. I mean, two players that are already wounded dito sa round natin, pare. Jeffrox at Ajax need to produce some magic.
Another thing that also kind of caught me off guard was kung gaano kabuhay pa si Kara, dun sa forward push na ginawa ni Azenet, both of them would have been dead to rights. Si Charles hindi niya masyadong napansin because of the smoke given to them on towards the mid side. So, lucky to be alive itong si Kara. But Charles and Jam medyo sugutan sa naging encounter onto the mid side as well. So, Z getting controlled by Sua. In the process of that, Jam also with an opportunity with his low HP to open a window, pero yun nga lang na shutdown na agad ni Sua for a golden headshot. House B now full focus para sa R7 as Charles gonna try to entry with his low HP, kills off CJ. Good control. No presence at all for Sua, which is honestly kind of understandable since ang daming players doon sa may LB kanina. Now he backs up to safety para nang maglaro ng mas maayos na defense onto the backlines of that B site.
Jeffrox. I mean, still, man, how did they get themselves out of this situation, pare? In R7, if they can get themselves out of this one, then yeah, this could be a very, very good start to the round. But Jeffrox getting a bit frisky in that underside on bridge. Sua around the corner. Jeffrox spotting him, but Sua gets the better of him with that M4. Ajax spotted na rin sa mid. Good timing galing kay Alretz. But then Charles wanting to get that mid control. Pero merong dalawang players dito. As soon as he shoots, that's going to be the second player around the corner potentially. Pero Sua will get taken down. Charles in the open will finally fall. 6-4 Vengeance with their first round dito sa GR side, which is not a good sign para sa R7, but they're just gonna need to throw everything at the wall, pare, until something sticks.
Both sides experimenting, a default playstyle sana na-expect natin sa Vengeance, pero sobrang active nila dun sa mid at sa LA naman sila magsisimula. They expect one player to actually get themselves a lurking position. Si Ajax yun kanina, buti na lang na-smoke siya dito as it will be a very aggressive push on towards curve. Aldret's not expecting this. It will be run down by Charles. B site wide open and Vengeance gonna have to play a very uncomfortable retake in a 4v5.
Yeah, low HP pa naman dito si Jam. That's the only solace that they have at the moment. Nades going into curve. Hasn't it gonna get hit through that smoke? Flash nades, everything gonna go through. Wala na silang, or actually meron pa sila mga HEs dito. So the bottom B players could be in danger. CJ with the swing. Suwakara. Down they go dito sa curve. 7-4. R7 with a round in return. So 3 more rounds para sa R7 and they are back into it. Vengeance need to answer immediately dito, pare.
The fast sweep. And that's one of the risks of trying to do a triple LA setup, an open angle in towards that curve position. That definitely caught Aldret's off guard, pare, no? So definitely a solid push from R7. And even doon sa backside hold na ginagawa nila kanina, pero Kara, spotted lang si Jam. JCD could possibly follow, pero yun nga lang, ganda ng control. Kaso ang daming damage na nakuha niya dito, sa pag-push on CA. So back into a 4v4. And back in towards that house B where itong si Sua, because of the smoke, also covers his position. So at least there's some peace in this sort of war na ginagawa ngayon ng R7.
Kara already down at the start of the round, which is definitely what you don't want to see kung kayo yung Vengeance dito. I want to keep him alive as much as possible, pero as in it's spotted through those tracers. Pero steady pa rin yung depensa dito na Vengeance. No reason to move anytime soon. CJ, however, gonna be a bit of trouble para sa kanya dito. Oh, but the timing is real para kay CJ. This crossfire could be the beginning of the end ng R7 push. Pero CJ gonna get spotted instead. Sua will get peaked. CJ could not get any players.
What?
Yun lang, man. They lose B side. Ajax will take Azenit's head off. And CJ, I'm just saying, that was all you, man.
Totoo, man. Would have gotten some at least one of them. Sua medyo hindi expected sa position niya, because he was on top 2F. Not really the best angle to actually fight off yung mga players na lalabas ng LB, So sa CJ talaga sana, pero wala, man. It's just the pace and tempo coming through from R7 now, shining through on the sport map. So we're gonna get the 8th round inevitably. At medyo sa BL side pa sila nagkakaroon ng parang magandang simula, So what is the thing about Vengeance right now? Na mapipick up sila minsan sa mga CA pushes nila, Tapos parang masyado na atang invested dun sa double crossfire. I really do feel like CJ needed to hit that shot there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Sua needed to be first contact in that position, but at the same time, you usually don't make presence dito sa House B. Because you're trying to really surprise the opponent. Pero man, CJ, yeah. If he couldn't get that first headshot, basically cooked from that position. So, 8 para dito sa R7. Vengeance now stuck on 4 dito sa kanilang GR side, and it's a lot more far back yung kanilang depensa this time. Not much in the way of early peaks. So it's more about just individual defenders playing together. So R7 actually gonna allow this kasi meron kang push na nangyari kanina galing dito kay Kara at kay Azenit. So they're not gonna move forward anytime soon.
Yeah. Try that once and yung pangasana yun, nagkaroon sila ng success, So maybe R7 isn't the wiser. They already have themselves yung House B control. And you could also see the wariness coming through from Jeff Rox as well, watching the flank as they're now fighting inside of that site. Yun nga lang, Suwa's gonna run and gun him down. CJ, the only sacrifice. Looks like Charles is able to get themselves a 3 versus 3. Mukhang hindi pa yung response coming through from the retake itself. Azenit able to get the shot dito kay Charles, and they already go back towards that House B execute where now Ajax has an opportunity. Hits the shot kay Azenit.
Oh,
Yun nga lang si Karo
Ajax.
dito din. 1v2. Jeff Rox has the C4. He's already inside of that A site. Mukhang 1v2 retake scenario na lang to para sa dalawang players on Vengeance.
I mean, if it's any spot, if it's any person as well to do it, might as well be itong si Jeff Rox. So Jeff Rox gonna decide to go dito sa bodega instead. Actually, like this, he could separate yung dalawang riflers dito if he ever chooses the right spot. Pero tama ba yung tingin nila? Yun na nga, that's the 1 versus 1. But why would you quick switch, Jeff Rox? Why would you quick switch, pare? Oh no, napindot yung Q twice. I
Siguro-
mean, rookie mistakes from R7, pero sige. I mean, still a 3-point lead, but man, yeah, no comment on that one. Anyways, B-side take is underway para dito sa R7. They're gonna try to recover from that prior mistake. It's getting a bit desperate. CJ will get itong si Jam. Charles will get taken down as well. Low na dito si CJ and si Sua. CJ will dodge that HE. Finally will get taken down, pero alam ba nila na nandito pa si Sua na nasa baba? ACD will get the clear, will get the player, pero Alrets with a Colt all the way from curve.
Kara,
Will shoot his head off. Kara from behind. Ajax, I think naspatan niya na meron tao dito sa HP. That's the first one down. Jeff Rox, known entity sa loob ng site. Kara with a double kill. 8-6. Vengeance with a slow comeback. And R7 in a bit of trouble now dito sa game natin, pare.
bit of overinvestment in towards yung naging fast execute na ginagawa ng R7 now. Charles medyo na-punish from the drop down in towards ibaba. Yung, honestly, it worked out the first time, pero sa round ito, medyo na-expect na nga sila dito, no? Kaya, not much damage done. They kind of put at least one more players sa pag-push all the way towards ibaba, which, honestly, prime position para kay Alrets. And because of that delay, Kara just needed to get himself in the prime position for that flank coming through. So, really, Vengeance had it all throughout. 8-6 now. In towards this 2-1-2 setup na sinasabi mo nga kanina na sama-sama lang yung dalawang defenders na meron sila. Jeff Rox na back in towards his lurking position na medyo na-expect na natin sa kanya sana. Pero R7, fully aware about that player na gumagawa ng ingay all the way towards CA. So, they're gonna have to be careful about Kara this time around. Because CJ's not moving a muscle, they know that LA is gonna be a threat if pupush nga sila dito. What?
Sa pagkakaalam ko, hindi po abot yan yung vision ni Alreds with that AWM. So, lots of rookie mistakes going on dito sa map and port. But let's see, Alreds in the top A position. Ajax with a very nice one-way. Could maybe see him just a bit. And yun lang is gonna get caught watching that CA position. R7 full go on that A site. Ajax will get Azenit. And Jeff Rocks with an easy flank pare. R7 finally match point after multiple rounds galing dito sa Vengeance pare. But one mistake, Kara's definitely gonna be tilted pagkatapos din pare.
Totoo, man. We already talked about it. Alret's not having his back. At masyado na napalayo. Sa taglay itong si
It's not
Kara,
even
man.
Alred's fault, man. Nasobrang
Yeah,
lang siya
exactly.
ng paglikod.
Exactly.
That's it.
Kara just pushed a little bit too far. Maybe he was expecting that nobody's gonna watch that, but 100% somebody's gonna watch that for on the R7 side. So basically, just gonna be another round para sa R7 now. 2-1. B site now again. Fully focused up by CJ tsaka kay Sua. Godbox controlled by CJ right now as R7 is gonna look to end this in one round, in one go. Flash already in prime position para kay Ajax. And possibly everything riding on this defense. Meron kay Sua tsaka kay CJ as the flash comes through. Jam gonna entry on in. Charles gonna be found as well. Headshot found from Sua. As these are gonna try to bounce back from this. As CJ gets a double kill from Godbox. Di makalabas si GCD at tsaka si Jeff Rocks. Low on HP. And CJ's gonna take the high ground to get themselves the 7th round. A 4K para kay CJ and another round para sa Vengeance pare.
Ayun nga. Vengeance still hanging on for dear life dito sa game natin. R7 trying to make a detour happen dito sa mapa. Maybe try and throw a curveball just to catch it on Vengeance off guard, but they weren't really caught off guard at all. R7 naman maybe wanting to go in a different route this time. Tamang default lang at the start of the round. I really do want to see them trying to take itong CA, considering the medyo far back naman si Azenit. So, I really just want to see them at least make an A split happen dito pare. Kasi yun nga, pag nagbintis dito si Aldrets, you only have to worry about itong si Kara, and if Azenit, if he does make it dito sa rotation. Pero, ayun nga, R7 still investigating dito sa mapa. Zero information, so it's all a guess para sa kanila dito, this B-site.
Yeah. No split push, so Z is a big question mark. That's why they put a little bit more time para ma-investigate yun. I don't think it's gonna be a split push to B anymore. It looks like full exec papunta dito kay Azenit. Already worked the first time. Mukhang mag-a-attempt to sila for the second as they rush on in. Azenit spotted, but they have full control over curve right now. That's where CJ is gonna have to shine through with its defense. And nga lang, Azenit and Aldrich, they do their best work to get 3 kills para sa Vengeance this time around. 2v3. And full control back in towards the B side. Jeff Rock's already spotted. Sua gonna try to kill him down. He does so with full grace.
Oh, Ajax!
1v1 para kay Ajax. Mukhang nakuha pa nga niya yung double kill. And the C4 down. Sua's gonna kill him. Masyado na malapit. And Vengeance able to get the 8th round just because of this.
Ayun nga, Vengeance, if they can take this to overtime actually, pwede pa nilang i-close out yung mapa na to. Considering their BL side wasn't too bad. But it is gonna take one more mistake galing sa R7 for that to happen. R7 obviously is already the very last round that they can possibly take this in regulation pare. Still, same exact defense para sa Vengeance. I mean, you don't really have to change anything realistically. 2-1-2 has worked so far dito sa mapa natin.
And I kind of want to comment about yung position ni Azenit sa round kanina, where now he actually takes the same position. He doesn't want to get like the aggressive spot kasi gusto niya bumalik para mag-double up siya with CJ, which honestly worked out so well para sa pag-push nila on curve. They have a stable defense. It's not a crossfire, pero it kind of worked as both like a bait and switch setup, as well as just 2 rifles just holding the same spot talaga, you know. So good thing for them. They're able to get themselves yung mas maayos na pag-hold back in towards that curve position. And a good way to kind of end it off because Sua really really needed to win that. Now, one more round para makapag-force ng OT ang Vengeance this time. 1-3-1 CA. Possibly an attempt para sa R7 ni Kara. He's gonna be in a one and done spot kung hindi macha-check nga to ng R7 right now as 1 minute on the clock na commences. That hesitation is gonna creep in for R7 if they don't do anything right here, pare.
Yeah, R7 with the slow setup on that A site. A split finally underway. Bit of a fake dito sa B site actually.
Kara?
And yun na nga, andito na R7 but the crossfire is gonna activate para sa Vengeance. JCD will finally get itong si Kara. Jeffrox though from behind will get si CJ. Both sides are open and Vengeance A site is also wide open para sa kanila, man. Asn't it the only guy who could realistically stop it? Nako po si Sua stuck between a rock and a hard place and in between three players. Ng R7, 15 seconds left. C4 plant no longer needed. Jeffrox will get the finisher as R7 will take itong map number 2.
Well, worked out this time around. That LA push was definitely labored, pero now with their full confidence team rolling forward, at least napatay na itong si Kara, which honestly, he was in a good spot para makakuha pa ng at least more than just one kill, pare. Which now R7 just took full advantage. Alret's also not in the best position as well since he just hold up dun sa mismong ibaba ng stairs natin which I kind of understand since he was holding yung player na nagpo-push siguro from curve or possibly like a lurk from Jeffrox. He already noted his position, so talaga nga namang all sides were trying to be covered by that Vengeance squad. But by the time that they got yung top A in full control, by the time that they also killed tong si Kara, you just knew that JCD just wanted to send it, pare. Talagang full confidence from JCD all throughout this game. And a beautiful lurk timing as well from Jeffrox just wraps the whole round up para sa kanila,
Yeah, I think it's a way better game as well para dito kay Jam. I think with him kind of back in the fray, obviously JCD fragging and itong si Charles fragging, kind of made it a whole lot easier. But I also want to highlight itong si Ajax who also had a hell of a game pagdating dito sa mapa ng Ankara despite him getting caught from time to time dito ni Alreds in that first half. Still kept it steady para sa kanyang team and carried that first half momentum going into the second one. But once again, Jeffrox, hell of a performance galing sa kanya dito being so annoying on both the entry and the lurk para sa kanyang team. So, Vengeance, their backline isn't safe, your frontline isn't safe, pare. Pero granted, it's still a good fight dito sa port.
It was. Despite a few of the rookie mistakes na medyo napansin nga naman natin on their GR, they still were able to show off their firepower talaga. I think CJ was top fragging nung nag-end tayo dito. I believe he also was a standout from that Ankara map. So his consistency is there. And you can also kind of expect that Kara and Alrex really needed to show up. And show up, they kind of did. Yun nga lang, so many things that they need to polish talaga, pare. Either from communication, from holding down yung LA, yung parang presence na baka hindi super safe yung mga pushes na ginagawa nila. Katulad ng ginawa ni Kara kanina on that LA position na naspatan lang na mabilisan ng Ajax, So some few things that they could just work out with just one VOD review, pare. And I think Vengeance can just improve just based off of that lang.
Ayun some accidents do happen dito sa mapa, in all honesty. And those two definitely do happen, but at the same time, yung timings rin kasi ng pagkakamali nila is really not doing both of these teams any favors, that's for sure. So, ayun nga, maybe just to try and recoup na lang siguro for map number 3, which is honestly a mystery para sa akin, kasi R7, obviously Jeffrox, and yung baka ibang players dito ng team came from the Gaon side of things, and Gaon obviously having experience pagdating sa mapa ng Eagle Eye. Yun nga, I kind of see maybe them having the advantage dito sa ating map number 3. Para naman sa Vengeance, I have not seen them play a single Eagle Eye at all in competition. So that's got me worried para sa kanila dito, pare.
That will be worrying, as you mentioned nga talaga, pare. So, if Vengeance are gonna go through with this, mukhang hindi sa mismong pro play nila makukuha yung kung saan sila naglaro ng Eagle Eye. Siguro sa personal experience na lang, but as you take a look at the highlights, it really was a back and forth affair para sa parehong Vengeance at saka sa REA-7 Ermita, Good shots coming forward from Ajax and some beautiful timings as well from Jeffrox, especially sa mga times na nagpa-flak din siya dito, which honestly really has been the calling card for REA-7. Once they get themselves yung full info kung saan nga yung execute, they will cook up a lurk, they will cook up yung mga flanks natin dito. which became a really good foundation for Jeff Rocks right now, who did put out a solid performance. For Vengeance nga lang though, no? Parang they were pretty much in contention sana para makuha yung OT, no? Pero I think yung performances na meron tayo dito from Jeff Rocks and Ajax kinda slowed down what could have been a momentous sort of second half para dito sa Vengeance, no? Wouldn't you agree, Charles?
Yeah, for sure. I think medyo malas lang no na nakaabot na ng 9 yung R7 bago pa sila naka-reply na maayos dito. Pero yun nga, the second half was feeling like itong Vengeance kind of coming back into the game. And granted, medyo malaki rin yung lead na nakuha nga dito ng R7 going into that first half. I mean, multiple rounds na nakakita natin itong si Alrets being super aware. I mean, obviously yung good performance kala dito kay Suwa at kay Kara, no? But yeah, it's that last round, unfortunately, just a good old A-split na may lurk dito sa B-side, got them fully distracted dito sa mapa, and that ended things. However, still a very good effort galing dito sa Vengeance, no? Kasi ayun nga, nakakatama pa rin dito si Alrets, Karasuwa still doing their thing in this map, and ayun nga, I think CJ, a very good go and support map as well. You can't really point at anyone, no, dito sa Vengeance na pwede mo masabing, this is the reason why they lost.
Yeah. And I think it's also pretty much unlucky din sa iba pang mga set plays na nangyari, no? Just sometimes plans just go out the window and all that you can do is try to adapt. But R7, they're the team na medyo na-force nga nila ang Vengeance na mag-adapt all throughout, no? 4 players literally on positive KD, 1 player in remaining talaga meron na medyo may kill per round. That's Jeff Rocks for this entire set, and he has 21 accumulated points as well. So makikita mo talaga yung impact so far ni Jeff Rocks, no? Continuing to become like very much a very big pillar para sa REA-7.
Yeah, Jeff Rocks for the longest time, no, has had great performances and consistent performances even from back in the day with his old teams. And yeah, it's still the exact same thing all throughout these years, man. Jeff Rocks being super consistent pagdating sa kanyang laruan, especially up against teams that are outside of the top 4. And ayun nga, feel like if the rest of the team does perform like this at Eagle Eye pa naman yung usapan natin for map number 3, I think R7 might have the handle of it. Pero para naman dito sa kabila, no, Alrets, once again, the man that I mentioned earlier at the start of this at the start of yung usapan natin dito ng series, obviously a man that you can point at na definitely does have some star power as well as itong si Kara, but then we didn't see enough, unfortunately, galing sa kanila dito. I mean, Azunet, despite the very stellar map number 1 pare, kind of fell off a bit dito sa map number 2, man.
The inconsistency continues para dito sa Vengeance. Pero para sa set MVP, the consistent force is real as Ajax will show up as the MVP this time around talaga, no? For R7 yan pare, which will tell you a bit of a surprise para sa R7, no? He does have the stats. Despite them losing, he does perform as much as you expect him to be, no? A good sniper. But sometimes he does get edged out when it comes to like yung mga individual performance na kalaban niya. I think Ajax, despite all the growing pains na meron so far para sa naging team niya, talaga nga namang at least Ajax is enough para lang magkaroon ng parang firepower yung team na to on the sniping role in particular.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this earlier, no? Yung topic of Ajax being a lot more passive a lot more passive dito sa Ankara compared to usual. I would have wanted to see him actively challenging itong si Alrets more, and that he did dito sa mapa ng port. And I feel like with him going for with itong si Alrets, kind of gave Alrets a bit of a hard time to try and reconvene siguro yung kanilang depensa dito pare. But then yun nga, Alrets was also starting to rotate out of his position dito sa top A, but then he was also there from time to time. So buti na lang talaga para sa R7, they guessed right at that very last round, and also Ajax hitting some very nice shots. So props to Ajax, man. I feel like kung mas tatapatan na talaga dito yung opensa ng Vengeance with a more head-on na approach siguro, feeling ko kaya nila i-close out yung series na to. But Vengeance, man, just like I said, high variance team. So anything can happen dito sa Eagle Eye, pare.
That's true. For Eagle Eye, talaga nga namang malaking question mark for one of these teams. Pero for another, mukhang they're coming back into a home that is for them. So will R7 complete yung reverse sweep nila dito, or will Vengeance deny them into a 2-1 victory? Malalaman natin yan sa Eagle Eye pagkatapos ng short break na ito. Ako si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Ito ang Impact Summer at huwag kayong aalis. Nag-aagawan ng serye ang Vengeance laban sa REA-7 Eremita. Parehong nagbigay ng round at saka ng set at mga magtutuos sila sa ating Eagle Eye 2.0. Kapres Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Ito ang CFPH Impact Summer 2025. The first series of the day is looking to shape up to be a banger, pare. Both teams getting both of their map picks at mukhang babalik tayo dito sa isang mapa na medyo malaki ang experience sa isa, pero para naman sa isa, medyo hindi natin alam kung paano sila mag-fare dito, pare.
Yeah, Eagle Eye 2.0, obviously a map we have seen a lot dito sa Masters kasi it has had an uptick pagdating sa international play. So yung para naman sa mga Masters teams, they're gonna be incentivized to kind of pick up yung map na to. Pero para naman dito sa mga Impact teams, not really too much incentive to pick it up. Kaya hindi mo talaga nakikita itong Vengeance actively trying to pick itong Eagle Eye. Siguro Sunday Shrooms might pick it up, pero depende pa rin talaga kung ano yung plano nila doon. Para naman sa R7, ayun nga, no, I'm really judging yung basis ko sa map na to from yun nga, yung prior experience dito ni Jam, JCD, Charles, and itong ni Ajax on this particular map. No? Kasi naalala ko, it was actually Gaon. And itong Gaon in itong Motomac Gaming who went overtime sa CFSPH Masters on this exact map, and all of the players in that server is in this R7 roster. So, ayun nga, in terms of experience, man, ayun nga, I'm gonna give R7 that, pare.
Yeah. At least they have the edge from that match alone, no? So hopefully makuha nila yung lahat ng mga natutunan nila from that series alone. And hopefully it's gonna be enough para makapag-supply sila against Vengeance, who we don't really have a very big analysis about how they're gonna perform this on this Eagle Eye map. Possibly one of the first times they're gonna play it on their career. So tingnan natin kung magiging strong yung first impression nila dito, as especially now that they're also gonna start on BL. So makikita natin kung makapag-fare sila dito sa mga long pushes, possibly on LA. We're gonna see a lot more of that hold coming through from Hotel dito sa R7, especially with kung gaano ka-similar din yung paglaro nito compared sa Ankara. To be specific, pero we're gonna go back into the game. Vengeance gonna start on BL, as it will be that LB push na ginagawa nga nila all the way towards that side.
As interesting start to the round, Hotel position gonna be taken here dito ni Jam. Not much of resistance from the boys over at the Vengeance dito. Azin is trying to investigate this LB position. Pero yun lang, siya pa ngayon unang mapipick dito. Charles getting the better of Azinit. Kara looking for the quick trade. Jam will get him down. Yun lang. Very easy start para dito sa R7. It was mostly tri-peaks. Pero Jeff Rock's gonna get punished with that jump peak dito sa House A. Just picks all over the place dito sa mapa ng Eagle Eye at the moment.
Punishments for both teams, no? Just either hinihintay ni Kara yung paglapit ni Azin before siya lumapit, or it's the other way around. Tapos, yun nga, Jeff Fox was just playing for info, so medyo hindi niya na-expect na trained na on the angle tong si Alred. So Ajax gonna hit the shot. What a very small angle to hold. Yata na-expect ni Suba yun. We're in towards that 2 versus 4 where Vengeance, they were counting on that mid-push na ginagawa ni CJ kanina, pero at least with a bit of damage done, that does make him hesitate to get some space going. So, R7, with the amount of time that they have, hindi na kailangan masyadong gumalaw, no? As it's going to be Charles holding the close angle. Push on in from Charles. That will be an opportunity for CJ as he hits the headshot. 3v2. C4 is still in the hands of Vengeance right now. So they have a choice to either go back into the set B site or try to gamble yung stack nila all the way towards the A site, pare.
Yeah, pero kung magro-rotate kasi pa sila dito papuntang B, problem is there's gonna be zero noise on that east side, and that's gonna set off yung rotators potentially para sa R7. As ayun nga, the noise stops on A side. So I do expect the rotation very soon galing dito kay Ajax going into that RS. And Jam now fully aware of that mid position that could be wide open. Alvet go around the corner, cannot hit the shot dito kay Jam. Good off angle. And CJ na lang natitira dito with the C4. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. He has been heard from that Hotel position. And that's the first round para sa R7. Medyo evident yung inexperience ng Vengeance sa mapa na to with how that round started. Yun nga, si Azinit not asking for help galing sa kanyang teammate dito to try and clear itong LB, which is not really the way to go. You cannot clear this entire B-long position na mag-isa ka lang, pare.
Totoo, pare. Especially with a smoke right in front of you as well. You're kind of forced into a situation where you peek out of it, tapos you risk yourself at a 50-50. But
I think they
Ajax,
just don't know the map.
another shot. What? He hits those. Napatay niya si Suwa kanina. And with a similar angle, he kills off Kara, which that's also one of the snipers na meron ng Vengeance so far. That LA setup na ginagawa nila kanina is already going to be just Alreds who honestly is not going to be enough para makapag-push siya dito as Azinet finds a timing kay Jeff Rock's perfect flash as well. 1-for-1 setup. JCD gonna commit to the angle, kills off one, but Alreds and Suwa, they get themselves 2 picks in the process as CJ's also gonna win out the fight kay Jam. Eventually, R7 are crumbling to pieces.
Yeah, R7 maybe he got a bit too excited on the trade game, pare. He's gonna be dealt a losing hand dito sa 1v3. Unless may magawa dito si Charles. Obviously, Alred, CJ, half HP dito sa round. Full pa naman dito si Suwa. He does have the M4. Sniper option still available dito kay Alretz. Alretz watching the behind just in case that there's gonna be any flanks ongoing. Pero hindi mapapansin na ba na nakadaan na dito si Charles? Alretz. Who's gonna spot who first? And it seems like that's gonna be Charles being the answer. 1 versus 2. This makes it slightly more winnable para dito kay Charles. Pero ang ganda na angle ni CJ on that spawn position. Nate's gonna go through Charles around the corner and that's the headshot. 1-1. R7. Ayun nga, maybe got a bit too excited to look for those trade kills. Pare, feeling ko kung nag-hold na lang sila dun, that would have been a lot more different.
Totoo, boss. Especially with the numbers they had, but Kara, what a shot. Jeff Rocks, the second time na napunish siya from getting the jump peaks ongoing. Kailangan niyang maging careful no? Kasi ilang beses na siya na pick off ng sniper. Lalo na sa Vengeance, war train on the angle every single time. Pero yun nga, going back to the round kanina, parang they're doing a good job of actually getting themselves early info. Kara, yet again. Beautiful shots all the way towards LAJCD down. R7 not given a chance to breathe. Suwa with another one. And Vengeance fully decisively taking your A site because nobody is going to be there to give the resistance, pare. 1 versus 5 per Jam.
Yeah, R7. Defense is crumbling all of a sudden dito, pare. But at the same time, no idea why they're going for openers dito sa depensa nila. So Jam gonna be stuck with a 5 versus 1. Feeling ko, yun nga, he's just gonna let the C4 take, use this rest of the bomb timer just to talk to his team. Pero ayun nga, R7 getting a bit too excited on some of these refrags, man. And VNG just punishing accordingly dito by holding some of these angles. And second round already para sa Vengeance on their BL side, which is already pretty impressive sa usually na nakikita natin dito sa Eagle Eye. Yeah, but R7, they need to answer back ASAP the next round, but hindi sila pwedeng sumagot ng aggressive option dito.
Ito, pare. Lalo na't medyo, if gumawa sila ng aggressive play, then they're gonna meet either the mid player na usually si CJ o kaya yung mga LB players na talagang walang takot na labanan yung hotel no? So, one or the other, both sides medyo may risk na inahandog no? So R7's gonna have to be careful about that as Jam is back into hotel para lang ma-hold lang yung pag-push ng Vengeance right now as they have full control over the mid side. Alretz has a chance with the angle that he has set up sa tower. Will it be Jeff Rocks yet again as Kara pushes in a little closely? Ajax and Jeff Rocks sama-sama lamang, but what a flick from Kara. Back-to-back rounds. LA fully controlled by just one sniper, pare.
Yeah. Second time that Ajax did get caught. Dahil sa sniper dito ni Kara, Alretz tapping his own as well. So double sniper gonna be a bit difficult para makapasok dito na mid. JCD around the corner, rifle in hand, spray's gonna go down pero onting bawas lang ang nagawa niya doon. Jeff Rocks will get as in it eventually. C4 still out in the open dito sa kanilang tower. I think it's gonna be fine. VNG still in control dito sa round natin in terms of the numbers as well. One play though from Jam in this hotel position, pare. Pwede pa itong mapaikot yung round pero mapapabalik siya dito sa B-side. And Vengeance potentially just a straight up B hit using their numbers, pare.
He does not want the risk. He does not want the smoke, pare. There would have been a risk na pwede niya makuha. Mataas sana yung reward if he does hold the hotel position, but now the decision is made. Mukhang sa cable na lang siya magtutuos dito. as that high setup will be a detriment for Vengeance as he peeks first. Sua first gonna be contacted in, pero yun nga lang, shots are not gonna connect para kay Jam. Goes back in towards Cable, gets one, gets two with the cult as well. A double for him. And Charles, right place, right time. Vengeance crumbling under the pressure and into the meat grinder. It is all on R7 to get the 7th round na.
Yun nga, despite yung pagkakamali na ng ginawa dito ng R7 sa simula ng round, very, very well played galing dito kay Jam, just kiting the members inside of the site into the crosshair dito ni Charles, and absolutely good teamwork from R7, still keeping that same feisty na style na nakikita natin, but still playing a lot more smarter this time. Vengeance back to the whole day go as I think na-realize nila na R7, they might have a way to get more rounds on the board after that last round, pare.
Yep. Vengeance just too reliant on that split push setup, and R7 finally finding a way, giving up the space, tapos sama-sama na lang in towards the defensive side. So R7 gonna have to go back in towards where they started kanina. Passive setup for JCD, giving up yung space doon sa may stairs mid. Vengeance having an angle on that, which could possibly be the split push commencing for them as with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. Ang dami pang oras para paglaruin pa ng Vengeance yung BL side nila dito. Posible pa na pwedeng i-lurk din ni CJ yung hotel and try to catch itong si Jam off guard din, pare, pero medyo risky din yun eh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to lurk into hotel, especially at bar positions. Very, very hard to clear usually. So, I usually do like to avoid that unless meron akong magandang flash. Pero Ajax, gonna be spotted by Allreds around the corner. A-side could be wide open, pero B-side pala ang hanap dito ng VNG. Pero VNG, baka maubos pa sila dito. Never mind. Kara and CJ, the absolute death ball rolling on in dito sa B-side natin. At napakalayo pa ng mga ibang miyembro ng VNG. Jam on the other side. Allreds trying to back up his teammates here, pero nakarating na ng tower dito si Jam. Jam finally taken down. Jeffrox, the only one left alive. Galing pa nga dito ng LB. Isang flash ang nasa kamay niya at the moment. And let us see if he can do exactly that. Sua will turn around just in time. 3-2 Vengeance with the lead dito sa kanilang BL side. R7, yeah, those openers not really going in their way, pare.
3 rounds where a sniper makes a lot of impact from that LA peak. Does not do them any favors. Then R7 not expecting that the other side was gonna get conquered by so many Vengeance players, pare, na nasimulan ni Kara. Tapos talaga nga namang ang hirap talagang idepensahan yon as JCD will be the one to shut down that streak. Patay na yung sa mga snipers dito ng Vengeance. Now getting their control back on LA. But an opportunity for Vengeance to still try to dip and dip din doon pa rin sa may LA dito, no? So really 1-0 Allreds down, which gives an opportunity for R7 to go back to their passive positions, pare.
Yeah, no reason to go forward here. Kung kayo yung R7, Allreds already out of the picture. JCD getting a bit risky in that mid-door position, pero bait lang pala yun para dito kay Ajax. Hasn't it down, Kara looking for the refrag, pero hindi niya mahanap yung sniper ng R7 dito. M4 gonna be picked up para dito kay Kara, but he's obviously heard around the corner. JCD, AK not gonna get the better of him that time. And CJ will get itong si Charles. All of a sudden, the round turns on its head. Equal na nga ang ating numbers dito. Kara, if he can find someone from that tower's position, especially itong si Jeffrox, that ace side could be wide open, pare.
There is no reason for Charles to push outside the hotel, pare. Either he wants to take a pick or he just wants to relegate that map control that they had so far, I know, which honestly, I don't think it's going to be the right call for them as Ajax hits the shot. Right place, right time for him. Suwa down to V2. Jam already showing his presence. Kara down as well. The flick was perfect. It will be CJ in a 1v2. The newcomer will get shut down by Ajax as well. Everybody from R7 hitting their shots into a 3-3, pare. Sobrang lapit ng first half natin ngayon.
Yeah, everyone finding their due picks dito sa mapa. I mean, B and A side having their own worlds dun sa round na yun. Some people getting picks, some people don't. Pero gusto ko yung ginawa doon ng R7, no? Finally some aggression to try and punish itong si Allreds in that garage position. And, he was getting a bit too comfortable with that sniper on that A site. So, yung tamang curveball lang galing dito sa Vengeance. But still, or galing dito sa R7 rather. Vengeance though, with a same old para sa kanila dito. Hold that starting round, wait for R7 to maybe make an overextension, pero R7, sobrang steady na kanilang depensa, walang gumagalaw ngayon.
Parang we never expect R7 to be that aggressive on this map in particular. Don't want to give the space up, but Ajax, the willingness, fighting off CJ. Sees two people as well, so that's info gain for Jam. Uses the spray and eventually does connect kay Azinit. That LB push na ginagawa nila kanina pa does not bear fruit at all now. Ajax with another shot kay Kara, so Vengeance. Really, the odds are getting stacked against them. Lalo na sa pagpush nila on LB pare. C4 down as well, so they're all counting on Suba's timing. Pero nobody from R7 is willing to even peek doon sa may bridge position natin.
Uy, pagmakot pa nga dito. Si Alret, this could be doom and gloom. Charles spotted a bypass, but they do not spot the second player. Ajax still around the corner. Pwede pa mapatay dito. Sua gets his second one, but the C4 could be picked up. Alret's shot in the back. 3 versus 1. Sua spotted a bypass. Double jumps over. Jeffrock's taken down. Sua, if he can get the sniper dito, this would be definitely possible. Pero Sua not seeing the flank tagged up. 1 HP and a dream para sa last player ng Vengeance to try and get that fourth, pero hindi na pala mangyayari yun. R7, 4 points collected para sa kanila dito. An opportunity for a 2-point lead unless isa na naman back and forth makikita natin dito.
And now another situation where that LB setup was not the best place to be para sa Vengeance. An active push na ginawa ni Ajax and also some good info relayed to Jam para mas maayos at prepared siya sa pagpush nila on Hotel. So now Vengeance, they're gonna try something different. LA naman nakatake. JCD, the top A position, now also supported by Ajax on the angle as well. The fake out is perfect. Look at the rotation from Ajax. Now gives an opportunity for Azinit. Yun nga lang napatay siya ni Jeff Rocks. Vengeance now relying on this 4 push in towards that site. Yun nga lang napatay nga ni JCD. CJ to get the trade into a 4 versus 3. Pero CJ equalizes with a double kill. An opportunity for Vengeance. But Ajax also down. That's Vengeance taking full advantage on A site.
3 versus 2 though, Jam coming in from behind. Spotting itong si Kara, pero Alret's now aware of that presence dito sa LA. But Charles still gets 2 somehow. Kara, last one left alive on 1 HP. Barely any life to work with. The C4 plant is nowhere close to him. And a 2-point lead finally collected dito ng R7 after quite the back and forth sa simula ng half natin. Opportunity for a 6-3 is here, pero Vengeance, they have to respond now.
Absolutely. The tug of war is over. R7 now showing off their true colors, pare. That LA push very much sobrang risky. Lalo na napatay pa yung lurking sa mid as Alretz hits a shot kay Jam. That hotel receptionist already knocked down to the ground. And very much a comfortable spot para sa Vengeance ngayon. Mid setup wide open. LA also something that they can still continuously attack. At dahil bukas na din yung hotel, kailangan na maging passive yung mga cable players kasi ang R7, with that man count advantage given up, it's already an open hotel push, pare.
Ang all the sudden, Azinit will find itong si JCD. 3 versus 5, VNG looking to get that mid push going para makapasok sila dito sa B-site. Pero kailangan pa nila dumaan dito kay Charles on that M4. Jeff Rocks now spotting that there could be potentially someone pushing, pero Charles looking at the wrong direction entirely. From the hotel players at si Jeff Rocks na lang natitira on that M4. Will get Azinit. Sua around the corner dito sa high mid. Will probably be just gonna shoot his head as he crosses, pero nga, last round possibly in this half. Sua will get taken down. Good spray, gotta get Jeff Rocks. 43 HP and a dream for this clutch to happen. Kara replacing his friend's position, pero Jeff Rocks still around the corner. Will get itong si Kara. 15 seconds left to make this play happen. Jeff Rocks spotted inside of cable car. 5-4. Death by information on a window, pare. Yun lang. 5-4. R7 will get a 1-point lead dito sa second half din, but I realistically think it doesn't matter kasi considering yung nature ng laro natin so far, I think it's gonna be another back and forth.
It is, pare. With how proactive R7 is on their BL, you know that this is gonna be a tug of war yet again. A 1-4 setup, hotel now gonna be a very big question. LB already taken by JCD and Jam, and the rest of the squad now looking to take it up back-to-back setup. That's not gonna hit the shot, so that's an opening papunta dun sa may EB. Kara also expected, so the push coming in is not gonna work out for Vengeance. That will be 3 kills. Sa sobrang bilis ng R7, Vengeance did not expect yung pag-push nila all the way towards the B site. As Jeff Rocks will continue his dominance dito sa mid-side. He will get the double kill. And Vengeance now gonna give away another round to R7.
Giving early momentum sa R7 is not really the way to go kung kayo yung Vengeance dito. Let's gonna need to heat up that sniper once again. Kara gonna be back on the rifle this time, so yeah, same old setup para dito sa Vengeance. Oh, he has it up super early. So, Eastside take na lang ba to? I mean, I'm surprised na CJ is not actually jump peeking dito sa my house to get information. Pero Sua out in the open will get taken down. 90-degree flick. Galing kay JCD. What a headshot through the smoke. CJ will get taken down as well. A-site wide open. Numbers are being typed on the C4 pare, and that's 35 seconds on the clock for VNG to get back into this. Pero dalawa na lang sila dito pare.
An entry tapos parehong flick pa. Saan ka pa makakita ng player katulad ni JCD pare? But Alrets now opening the conversation. Kara not gonna hit the shot. Will be a 1v3 but Jam will continue yung lane ng R7 in towards this A site. But JCD man, 2 back-to-back head flicks dating dito sa kanilang entry in towards LA. A performance of a lifetime para sa JCD. And R7 now continuing their momentum dito.
As we enter the 7-4 scoreline dito pare, biggest lead we've had so far in this Eagle Eye game. Vengeance now, that second half curse that always looms for them, especially in game 3s na it's the closeouts, especially you feel hope kind of start to get lost para sa kanila dito, just judging from their movements. Pero R7, this is how you take LB. Vengeance, full swing, teamwork. And Hotel player could be in danger dito pare. CJ trying to get out early to get that checkout. Pero di niya alam, meron pang isang player na nasa likod. That flank from Jeff Ross could be all the difference. Jam still alive inside of cable car. Dinked itong si Alrets. Ajax around the corner. Alrets will attempt to take down itong si Ajax pare. Pero Alrets and Kara. Ajax will get Alrets. Meron pang tao na nasa loob ng RS. Kara knowing about itong si Jam. It's a 1v1 turnaround. Ajax gets the shot on the cold pare, and that's a 4-point lead. Vengeance hindi na nakakuha ng round sa second half na pa ako sa 4.
Another LB push successfully done by R7. They kill off Sua, and despite good movement from CJ that took a little bit more time para sa R7, they still get the B site anyways. And with the rotation timing from Ajax as well, it saved it all the same. Jeff Rocks and JCD, they continue the momentum papunta dun sa B site. Ajax with another clutch shot sa ulo ni CJ. At mukhang all R7 na ang A site natin. B site, excuse me. A 1v4 na for Kara. And honestly, Paris, sobrang layo niya. Mukhang hirap na hirap siya dito.
Yeah.
Unless he kills up tong si Jam on RS. It is possible. Pero, now Kara, to isolate the fights right now. Window player, not spotted just yet. Ajax found. Jam gonna wait the timing, and he does so with perfection. R7, one more round to finally complete yung reverse sweep nila.
Yeah, R7, it's the good old pub B-side hit, and they might actually just run it back, pare. Sometimes you just have to send it, and especially when you have this big of a lead, kung kayo R7, you can basically try anything at this point dito sa Eagle Eye, which adds to the uncertainty ng mga Vengeance players. Look at that, the smoke inside. Jeff Rock still waiting for the A players to go around. Pero Ajax makikita na dito si CJ. Sua on the other side will get the answer kay JCD. Sua though, low on HP, 1 HP. Spell his death as a nit. Will get taken out. Yun lang. He tried to make the hero play happen pero masyado siya naging bayani doon. Jeff Rocks, nasa loob na ng RS. Nako po, Sua, mamamatay ka pa nga dito. Last one left alive. Sua barely breathing. And that's our 7 taking this series in 3.
My goodness! R7, full business pagkatapos nating pumasok ng second half. And definitely, pare, that was a comeback and a half, not only in the series, pero in that set alone on Eagle Eye, you saw the growing pains. So many times that they got knocked out from the sniper sa LA na ilang beses nang tinatake advantage ni Kara at saka ni Alretz no? Pero improvement was steady at nung nagtagal yung game, dun pa lang, nung nag-swap na sila on BL, you knew that R7 was gonna be more confident. So many times na inatake nila yung LB without that much resistance. So many times na tinik nila yung split push doon sa may mid-side na honestly, konti lang yung nakikita kong paghirap sa kanila no? And the amount of times that Jeff Rocks has had good timings and ina-note nga din natin pare no? He started this without that many kills dun sa first half kanina. Ngayon ay grabe yung pagbawi niya dito pare. Because of that lurk timing and because he's playing off of good synergy with his teammates na full trust lang na kayang-kaya na lang i-execute nang wala dun si Jeff Rocks pare.
Yeah, but at the same time, no, my suspicions were right about itong Vengeance na yun nga, they do not play the map of Eagle Eye. Granted, ang ganda ng first half nila no, on their BL side. Yun nga, no, BL just, you can play BL on this map without having to know too much. No? And feeling ko yun yung rason ko bakit they actually got 4 rounds kasi if they don't know what they're doing, R7, they're like, oh, how do we predict this? So, ayun nga, pagdating naman dito sa second half, it was very, very evident no, na they have no idea what the setups are like dito sa EE. And ayun nga, they just drowned entirely. And pagkatapos ng R7, they're just like, alright, let's just kill them with pace at this point dito sa B site and hindi na sila makakasagot sa atin dito. So, Vengeance, ayun nga, no, that is just how it is sa competition when you do have like a shallower map pool. Mapapunish at mapapunish ka talaga, pare.
Yeah. Considering as well dito sa Impact Summer na yung mismong Sunday Shrooms lang yung willing na ilabas yung Eagle Eye dito no? So it also is not doing any favors as well para sa Vengeance as well. So the experience really has reigned supreme dito for REA-7. Their core from Gaon Gaming really has giving them all the tools that they need para lang magkaroon sila ng comfortability dito sa Eagle Eye map natin. And what a good day for Jam pare no? Talagang when he is on a high note, talagang you can expect him to not only outfrag their opponents pero just outweigh the expectations set to him pare.
Yeah, I mean, Jam on another level obviously dito sa mapa na to, and it kind of goes back to yung history of yung R7 with this particular map. Just like how I said, I did mention a particular series between itong Motomac and itong Gaon that lasted like 13 to 12 yata yung score noon. So definitely they got plenty of, or 13 to 12 yung score noon. So they got definitely plenty of experience in that map. So, ayun nga, it just felt familiar para sa R7. As soon as they turned itong second half, they just knew exactly what to do dito sa Opensa. They know what sides to target, what spots to target dito. And ayun nga, VNG, because of their lack of knowledge, they don't know what to hold, they don't know who to trade. And ayun nga, no, after that second half turn, they were just playing confused the entire time, pare.
Yeah. You just know that Vengeance just needed so much more than just yung mga picks na nakuha nila dito sa LA, no? Kasi R7 were just willing to throw the kitchen sink at them nung nag-swap na sila dun sa BL. But their GR wasn't even really too bad as well, no? Parang nung nag-start sila on GR, it was so many hotel pushes na nagawa ng paraan either ni Jam o kaya ni Ajax. And both those two players really popped off in this particular game. So, talagang good props from them. The bounce back from Jeff Rocks as well. Starting off a little cold nung nag-start tayo dito sa first half natin. But I guess it's not how you start, it's how you finish ka naman para sa kanila. So, REA-7 and Armito are gonna be happy with how well this has ended. Pero, it also kind of puts a bit of a bitter taste sa kung paano sila nag-end dito sa series. Because of this 2-1 victory, if Cypher Pro team can have an outstanding performance, there's a possibility na baka mak-close nila yung gap against Vengeance because they lost the series and possibly get even closer laban dito sa players on R7 sa standings natin, pare.
And nga, unfortunately, that is gonna mean Vengeance could be potentially out of playoff contention dito sa Impact, pare. Tragic, no? Kasi considering na I feel like itong Vengeance definitely were a better team or were a good team. Good enough at least para makapasok dito ng top 4. But ayun nga, feeling ko yung cream of the crop ng competition natin, aka yung top 4, maybe was a bit too much para sa kanila dito as we take a look at the set summary. So, it's a rough one para kay Asinit, man. Sobrang sayang kasi ganda na ng map 1 na dito, man. Kaso, ayun nga, as in it disappearing for map 2 and 3 wasn't really helping the case dito na Vengeance, pare.
Yeah, definitely not a best case scenario for Vengeance. Unfortunate para sa kanila kasi they had promise, They were also a good team with having like really good highs pero masyado na atang naging madalas yung kanilang lows no. So hopefully this team picks up so much pagdating dito sa Impact. May chance pa naman sila para mapag-show up into the next week's games pero for playoffs contention, I think it's a little too late for them to actually get a chance. So we'll see from Vengeance pagdating dun sa next week at saka sa mga susunod pang mga tournaments pero for REA-7, it's all smiles all across the board. 2.33 para kay Jam, 2.14 para kay Ajax. These two were the pillars on that hotel setup pare. Yung mga shots ni Ajax kanina at saka yung pag-hold ni Jam sa hotel as well as we pick off yung set MVP natin. It's either gonna be Jam or Ajax and it looks like it is gonna be Jam at this point in time. And no, one kill every round and it just tells you na talagang he needed time and with time comes grace as well from this guy. Sobrang init ni Jam pare.
Yeah, I mean, the exception of that map number 1, no, I think we've definitely seen better games kind of get Jam on Ankara, but map 2 and 3 made all the difference para sa kanyang team, especially for this map number 3. I mean, Eagle Eye was definitely his home. I think half of the reason why R7 won dito sa kanila mga first half rounds was his rifling, no, and ganda ng pagka-anchor na dito sa B-side. I think B-side definitely was so hard to take para sa VNG. Because of this one man para his hotel presence, his site presence is absolutely insane. His capability to actually anchor and just hold on to the site and just be as annoying as possible. No, it's a nightmare para sa mga teams kagaya nga ng Vengeance dito. And the fact na pumunta na tayo in the second half did a nice job of kind of playing with his entries, playing with his rifler trio nga dito na R7. No, so ayun nga, it's a lot more comfortable para sa kanya dito. Match result though, it is going to be 10-6 for Vengeance, them getting the win dito sa Ankara, but then when it came to Port and Eagle Eye, it is a 8-10 and 4-10 affair para sa kanila dito.
Man, one game where it had the absolute minuscule result sana no? Would have made all the difference in the world pero does go to the way of REA-7 Ermita. The reverse sweep nga naman no? Sobrang isang game na lang sana, isang set for Vengeance. This would have been so much of a bigger difference when it comes to the standings, but I guess it's not gonna be going their way this time around. REA-7 Ermita gonna be happy with how they performed on these maps. I'm pretty sure that Port is a pick that they can go for, pero with how close it was and yung mga nagiging problema nila on that GR side, I'm kind of seeing kung ano yung magiging problema nila kapag they're gonna face up against yung mga Sunday Shrooms, yung mga Matt Jesses. That GR side, it needs a lot more improvement than it has been for REA-7 right now, pare.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've seen better halves galing dito sa R7, especially on that port GR, no? But I feel like Vengeance, obviously, I think time and time again, nakukuha nga nila yung bid control and they get CA for free. Maybe a bit too relaxed yung depensa ng R7 in mid, especially dito sa map ng port. But then, ayun nga, that's kind of the risk that you take if you do want to prioritize yung mga sites instead. But yeah, I do see the point na I feel like they could have played yung GR a lot better, especially around that middle area. Siguro maybe placing an M4 player and let him be as annoying as possible. Maybe even a double sniper, no, if ever they choose to do so. So daming options to try and cover that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's been the whole series all throughout no? And I guess this also kind of puts a bit more question if kasi alam na natin na wala na sa playoffs yung Vengeance because of this result no? But what about R7 no? Now their top 4 is also gonna be in a huge question mark. Now that also is gonna be up to how Heroics and XPT are gonna be performing. I think Vengeance is gonna get knocked down this siguro, let's see kung magto 2-0 nga ba yung XPT. Ano ba yung theories mo, Charles, because of this?
Well, fortunately, no, para sa R7, 4-2 yung kanilang record dito. So I think they're gonna be ending up at 3rd and Heroics is gonna go down at 4th. Obviously, I think kahit matalo yung R7 sa kanilang next to their score, I feel like yung XPT could have a shot. Matalo nila yung Heroics natin. Their record is actually going to be tied. And in terms of map score, let's say Cypher Pro Team 5-7 sila and Heroics is 7-4. Let's say Cypher beats them 2-1, so 7-8. It's still rough para sa map score ng XPT. They need to win yung game nila sa week 7 against AGT 2-0. para makapasok sila ng playoffs. That is what's in danger right now. Para naman sa AGT, no, you have an opportunity to spoil another team's chances para makapasok ng playoffs. So, why not play a bit evil, pare, going into week 7, pare?
True. Kung mataturn up ba si Kuya Murillo if Aero's gonna have a good game. And hopefully, bumalik din si A42 no? So, tingnan natin kung yun nga yung mangyayari dito. Arise Gaming Team will have an opportunity, but I guess for XPT, is their chance to actually get themselves into that top 4 running, no? So, hopefully, their efforts will be recognized, their efforts will be enough. Ang importante na lang siguro is yung kung gaano ka-close nga naman yung magiging game nila mamaya. We'll see how it goes. But for this REA-7 match right now, I think I had I want to open up like a conversation about them kasi parang I had a bit of doubt believing in them kasi if you compare like yung schedule ng REA-7 sa Sunday Shrooms, parang sila yung parang ascending tapos parang descending yung Sunday Shrooms naman, whereas like nung nagsimula yung Sunday Shrooms, they were having like the roughest schedule possible. And then when they were at the tail end of their schedule, doon naman sila nagkakaroon ng easy na games. Whereas yung REA-7 naman, they had the best schedule. And then they were the ones kind of getting the harder games. But I guess they made the most out of it. No? They came out, I wouldn't say unscathed, pero with how they've been performing now, that inconsistency is still in my mind. But now this game is showing me that they can still have a chance.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that sa week number 3 actually na R7's record is a bit buffed kasi yun nga, their schedule was a bit easier at the first half, and now it's getting slightly harder, so we're seeing a bit more challenge para sa kanila dito. But match MVP, of course, it is going to be Ajax, sniper dito ng ating R7, 1.48 KD, 19 AP, and 90 KR. Pretty good stats for a sniper nga dito. And ayun nga, I think R7 I would say they're pretty much safe actually. Papunta nga dito sa playoffs, but let's just wait and see, man, kasi yung next match nga nila is up against itong Matches, and hindi naman gagalaw yung record ng Matches anytime soon, being 5-1. So yeah, just gonna have to wait and see what's going on dito sa ating next week. Pero of course we're gonna take a I think a bit of a look at yung highlights dito. Ajax, he's hit a lot of really, really good shots. I think yung presence na dun sa port, especially sa top A, kind of just sent the series over. And at the same time, ang ganda pa ng ginawa niya dito ng map number 3. Despite itong si Aldrich at si Garano actually catching him multiple times dito sa top A, there was a lot of moments na Ajax, had the upper hand. Yung medyo lumipat na rin siya dito sa mapa ng hindi lang top A naglalaro, medyo nag-aares na rin siya. He's also trying to anti-sight. That mobile presence dito ni Ajax, being that steady sniper, really just made it very difficult, man.
Which tells you that hindi siya isang one-trick pony, He's not gonna be holding just one angle. He will be everywhere talaga if you give him the momentum, So, Garan Ajax, talagang a showmaker kapag nagbigyan mo siya ng plataforma. At talaga namang hindi siya takot lumaban kapag binigyan mo siya ng confidence, So, for Ajax, it's just gonna be a good time moving forward. At para sa REA-7, sila pa yung nag-benefit sa buong naging performance si Ajax. So, well-deserved MVP para kay Ajax sa kanyang naging performance on both port at saka sa Eagle Eye. Pati na rin dun sa Angkar, pare. Hindi na naman siya tumigil kahit nung first set lang natin, So, it is gonna be a victory para sa REA-7 Ermita. All their growing pains mukhang unti-unti nang nawawala, Their confidence is gonna keep continuing to improve as time progresses. So for REA-7, congratulations. At para na naman sa Vengeance, talagang praying position na sila ngayon kung ano yung mangyayari mamaya at saka sa susunod na ating games, baka magkaroon ng malaking understanding kung paano yung magiging set nila dito. They're probably gonna be eliminated for the playoffs, and hopefully we'll see them on the susunod na tournaments. Before we wrap up into a break, Sneaky, anything else that you would like to say about that game?
Yeah, maybe better luck next time, Vengeance, man. Meron pa naman tayong fall. We do have fall season, so you guys, as long as they don't fall too far, kasi top 6 get to next season anyways, I think they're gonna be fine, pare.
No, okay. Okay. Well, we'll see Vengeance papunta doon sa ating susunod na season ng Impact. But for now, the focus is on Summer. And the next focus will be on that second series. So kung gusto nyo pa malaman kung sino manana doon no? Malalaman nyo yun pagkabalik ng short break natin dito. Nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Ito nga pala ang Impact Summer 2025.